one of the comments I've gotten about the baskets is, are those deer feeders? And when I look at it, I'm like, hey, that makes sense.
That one's going on the internet, my friend. Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Disc Golf Collective.
Yes, sir.
We have John and Brittany. I know Cottrell?
Cottrell.
Cottrell.
Yeah, close.
Okay.
Yep.
And what's your last name, Brittany?
Allison.
Allison.
Yeah.
All right. Well, usually one of the first things I always start with is, how many years have you been playing? Let's start with Brittany.
About a little over a year and a half, or right around a year and a half.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. So I was like first introduced to disc golf in 2016, and I just remember that because I was in a particular area at that time.
Yeah.
But we didn't play like to baskets. We played to like
Markers.
telephone poles and
Yeah.
trees and things like that. We were just in the middle of a big field.
Yeah.
And now looking back at those discs, it's like I can't believe we were throwing what we were throwing, but we were doing it.
Right.
So I played there for a little while, and then didn't play at all until right when she started playing. We started playing picked right up together,
Nice.
and that
So
was
did you, like back then, were you playing
Good
any
shot
kind
there,
of
Britt.
competitive,
no,
not even
No.
like for
Just-
money or anything,
yeah.
just for fun?
Yep.
Okay. Keeping score at all?
no,
Okay.
no.
And so when did you really start like taking it seriously, keeping score and stuff like that?
Down here,
Okay. How long ago?
2 years ago,
2 years.
right when I first got moved down here.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, that's impressive.
Well, Noah Leiter.
Wow, what a huge roll.
I was working with him, and we got started playing with each other. And then it was like, he always talked about having to have Monday night off for league, and I'd have to pick up his shift for Monday night. So it was like,
Right.
well, wait a minute, I want to try this out. So then
Which
it all
I'm
started.
really excited for this year because I finally
Yeah.
got Mondays off this year, so I'll be
Yeah,
able.
nice.
He's always gave me a hard time because I've never
Got to be
came
there.
to league, so I get to come this year for
She
sure.
gets a lot of
Awesome.
flack from guys. It's pretty funny
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they know she shows up.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Whenever
Yeah.
you're ready.
But yeah, it's been about 2 years, man. That was really when it started. My
Yeah.
first tournament was last year. Last season was my first tournament. Was at Vets.
Dude, that went
I
right
played
under the
doubles with
basket.
Noah,
Okay.
And I think we got second, but it might have been only 2 teams.
Yeah.
But we only got beat by a stroke, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
Hey, you won. That's
Yeah.
all that matters.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
was my first ever tournament, man. After
Awesome.
that.
All right. Well, I know. So one of the first reasons I recognized you was we played at that round together at Broughton's, the Big Buckeye.
Mhm.
Both of you guys actually. Well, actually, no.
It
The
was a
first
league.
time it was just you. It was league.
Yeah.
I don't think Brittany was there.
I don't. Maybe not.
The time you threw the ace on 15?
Oh yeah, no, that
Yeah.
was she was not there.
That was
How
one of
was
the
it?
craziest shots I've ever seen. Like when I put the whole where it is, I was like, okay, the only ace is around the right side, you
Yeah.
know, and then somehow you throw the craziest flex forehand I've ever seen. I thought that's hitting something. Like once it gets around that corner, it's gonna
Yeah.
just bury into the hillside and roll down the hill.
Yeah.
And then when ching, I was like, what? No way.
I
There's no
couldn't-
way that went in.
No.
That
I
was-
couldn't believe that was
yeah.
it. You just heard it.
I
That was
know.
it.
I was, and when I heard change, I was like, no. Like, how did that even get to the basket out of that?
Flattened out.
It was the craziest angle I've ever. It was almost straight up and down. I was just like, it was almost still at a 45 when it hit the turn, you know. And I was like, it must have just dumped out of that like immediately after we, lost sight of
Yeah.
it. That was. I wish I had that on video.
I didn't even
Best
get
shot
to
I've
count
ever
it.
I wish
seen.
you did too.
I didn't even get to
Yeah.
count it. That didn't go down in my personal history as my first ace. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was like, okay, cool. I got the picture. If you look at the picture that I have of me, I'm sweating to death.
Yeah.
It was a terrible day. It was hot.
It was.
We were deep, like we were already
Yeah.
almost done,
Yeah.
and I was sticky, and like,
Yeah.
and it came out right. It
It
hit the
did.
line I wanted it to, but everybody was like, I can't believe you're throwing that line, and it just
Man,
happened.
I've never. I see a few people throw the line,
Yeah.
and it's always just like to get as close to the basket as
Yeah.
possible because like they don't ever expect to like they just want to get past that first row of trees
Right.
and then lay up, take a three.
Right.
Yeah.
And
No,
Noah was with us also.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he said he took off running in front of us. Remember?
Yes.
I said, dude, wait, you can't be the first one to see. And then he yelled at me to take off running. So it was in the basket, man. That's crazy.
That was crazy. Yeah.
That was an A2.
I was like, I was so surprised when I like walked around that corner and saw that it was
laying
actually,
in the basket.
Yeah.
I was
like,
stoked.
no way. Like, I thought it would like glance off the chains,
Right.
or like, but there's no way it could have like come out of that crazy turn and then flattened into it. I was just like, all right, well, like the funny thing is ever since then, you know what line I throw now, right?
Yeah, try to get it in there. Yeah, the inside line. And
I throw that same line on the same. I even try to get the same angle with my most stable disc. Yeah. I will say that I get way closer. I've taken a lot more too since I started taking that line.
Heard that. I get over there almost every time.
Yeah.
At least for a look.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that splash though.
I know, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
For
I'm
sure.
glad you got to be there with me.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Well, one thing I want to talk to you about, Brittany, because like I have 9 sisters, so I'm all about women in disc golf.
Right.
I'm huge about kids in disc golf because my kid used to play until like none of her friends played, so she just kind of quit. And she can throw like 350 standing still, so it breaks
She
my
should
heart.
come out and play.
She should. If I could find one teenager, girl or boy, guaranteed she would come out and play with them.
Right.
If they were, not the odd, gamer, not talk to anybody type. Because she's super outgoing,
Right.
loves hanging out with her friends. But she's met some teenagers in disc golf. They were often very quiet and shy and
Right.
not outgoing at all. But what would you say, like, I know, like, for me, if I give you a hard time about coming to a league, it's because I want to see way more women there. And if you show up, one more will show up, and then 2 more will show up, and, and stuff like that. What would you say would be the biggest reasons you don't make it? Is it usually time, or is it actually, like, is there things that interfere with it?
Work. For the most part, it is
Okay.
work. But I think this year I will be coming out to play league. I
Good.
got it worked out through work and figured
Awesome.
out through
Yeah.
a couple new jobs and whatnot. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. Is
I'm
just
super
cover.
excited. Yeah. I'm pumped.
I became a massage
Shake it around.
therapist because
Yeah.
I knew, like, I could work, my massage therapy around anything.
Right.
And, I definitely try to do that any time I can because, I just love disc golf. Lately, Jim and I have been, basically, video recording disc golf. I like that just as much.
It's so
I could
fun.
sit and watch disc golf. I watch it on YouTube. I can watch
Yep.
my friends play it,
Yep.
I know yesterday we got some amazing, some 40, 50-foot putts. They're so fun to watch, especially when you have it on video. It's recorded forever.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just been a new passion of mine because I never really knew that I was any good at video. But I don't know. The more I work at it, it is one of the funnest parts of disc golf that I've
For sure.
found lately anyway. So hopefully I'll be recording a lot more of you guys.
That made me. Watching. I wouldn't watch anything that I didn't particularly want to see.
Yeah.
I wanted to see. When I first started, I wanted to know what that guy's throwing.
Yeah.
I would compare myself to certain players and see how they were, their body type and how their athleticism compared to mine. Dude, I learned a lot from just watching videos.
Me too.
Yeah.
I always look at Big Germ because I swear we're
Yeah.
doing exactly the same. Man.
You are. That's crazy. You are.
Yeah.
That's super
That
funny.
is funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't express to you how much watching videos of people throwing and tournaments and how many rounds I've just watched that aren't even important rounds, but it's just people throwing the same types of discs that I throw, and I want to know what you're throwing on this one, because and then there's brands and all that, but
Yeah.
I won't go there. But
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I love watching videos.
Yeah, me too. I watch YouTube. Well, I watch tons of YouTube, especially since I started a podcast. It's basically how I learned how to do it.
Yeah.
Set up all this equipment. Know which stuff to buy.
Yeah.
I pretty much learned all that on on YouTube, which.
Yeah.
I learned how to build a deck on YouTube. I built hundreds of decks. You know what I mean?
I've done some car maintenance from YouTube. For
I
sure.
work on all my cars, and
From
all of it
from
learned from
YouTube.
YouTube. Absolutely. When I said, okay, well, obviously this is what's going out of my car.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me find a YouTube video on
Type it
it.
in.
There's
Right.
always someone
Same
who
thing
had
with
the
your
same
throw.
thing. Absolutely.
Same thing with your throw. If
Absolutely.
why am I turning my
Yeah.
backhand over all the time? And I promise you, there's something.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you mentioned that you looked for body types in people. I tell people all the time, that's pretty important. You know, like, if you have a big body type, you probably have big hands. So, you know, what putter is someone who has big hands using? It's probably going to fit you the same or close.
Absolutely.
You know? And if you checked on like 10 people with the same body type, I bet they're throwing similar stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, as the pros anyway.
Right.
But, you know, I think around, you know, here, even with locals, if you watch, like, you know, what they're throwing as well, and their body type, you know, because they're playing on the same terrain as you are, pros aren't really playing on West Virginia soil.
No.
You know what I mean?
No
West
disrespect,
Virginia no,
but
West Virginia soil is
it's
tough.
treed up
I mean,
here.
you
It's
know, like,
fun, though. It is so much fun.
It's hiking. That's what I tell everybody. It's a way. It's a
Yeah.
whole way of life. It's a whole. You're getting like a whole trinity when you go play. You're getting like
Oh, man.
exercise
Absolutely.
and a mental like effect. You get to like
Yeah.
be in the
You
woods.
build character.
You do.
Because, I mean, you're putting a workout in to play
Yeah.
every round.
For
Absolutely. I know if I go to a tournament and there's 2 rounds, I'm like, oh boy, I don't know if I'm still young enough for this. And if it's in the middle of the summer, I know I'm not.
Yeah.
The alarm doesn't hold up sometimes.
No.
Yeah.
So many times in the summer, you know, I go to throw, I'm like sweating so much, I'm so exhausted, so hot that I go to throw, and, you know, like, my body doesn't even feel like it's mine.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I didn't do that. Like,
Sweating to death.
oh yeah, I can't concentrate on one single thing. You know, and at that point, I don't know that I like love what I'm doing.
Right.
I mean, I'm usually having fun because I start usually laughing at myself. You know what I mean? But I don't know that I love out being, you know, out there sweating and dying or whatever.
Staying because I bought in.
Right.
I bought in today.
Well, and for me, it's like I don't know how to quit. Like sometimes I wish I did, you
Yeah.
know, but I don't know how to just be like, no, I'm just gonna walk to the car. I can't even.
Yeah.
Do it. I've tried to talk myself into it. You know what I mean? There was a time I know I was dehydrated. I was like sweating so like
Yeah.
I would drink a water. Oops.
You're good. Got it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I would drink a water. It felt like it was literally like going in and pouring straight out of every pore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wasn't retaining any. I was starting to feel dizzy and kind of sick,
That's
you know?
not good.
And I was just like, I got like 3 holes left. You know, they're all uphill, but I can make it.
Right.
And I barely made it. I mean, by the end of it, like I went and sat in the air conditioning in the car when I was done and like for like an hour.
Mhm.
I couldn't even move. I was glad that like the tournament took a lot longer to finish because I was just like, I can't even get out of this car.
Yeah.
Like I almost killed myself here. Like that might have been the hardest, roughest
Yeah.
round. But I've signed up for many tournaments since.
Oh yeah.
In the same months,
It's
same temperature.
love.
Yeah.
And don't even care.
No.
We'll do it again. And then play rounds like yesterday, or go video record rounds in 27-degree weather.
Yeah.
I know Jim was in a tournament that Julian ran, and it was 16 degrees. I actually have a disc out on the wall
6
out
inches
there.
of snow.
Yeah,
16 degrees.
So I put 16 degrees on the back of the disc because I never want to figure that round. It was
Never,
the
ever will
coldest
I
round
ever. I will drive home.
You like hand warmers in your gloves.
Yeah.
And then you take it off, throw, and then right back on. And you're just like, oh my gosh, my hand almost froze off for like 2 minutes. Yeah.
I don't really care for playing in the cold too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Jim, it was interesting because he was on my card. I'm pretty sure both rounds. And the first round, he had this really big coverall suit on, had these big giant pockets in it, got all his discs in his pockets. They're warm and nice, you know what I mean? Second round, he decides, I'm going to grab my bag and take off this warm outfit or whatever. His disc didn't fly anywhere close to the thing.
Nah.
I went from par the first round to plus 9 the second.
I was gonna say because he had me by like
I was tied for
at
first
least,
place.
Yeah, he had me by like 10 strokes in the first round.
Yeah.
I came back and beat him.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I was just like, yes. But boy, it was the roughest ever rounds that I think I've ever played, minus the dehydration
Right.
that one. But
We're always
Really
like, let's go
cold.
play. It snowed. Let's go snow round. First snow round of the year.
yeah,
And then you're like,
Why'd I do that?
If it's crispy cold, then it's
Yeah.
cool. But if it's wet snow, which is what we get here,
Yeah.
it usually rains for like 2 or 3 days before the snow starts falling, which is what it's about to do tomorrow, I believe, something crazy. And
Right.
it's like, I hate the wet, then the snow. That makes it terrible.
Yeah, I do too. I kind of liked it yesterday on the Sasquatch because it was frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Way better footing.
Yeah.
But man, the second that thaws, it's just going to be a soupy mess. You know, and it doesn't make it as fun, but it makes it so that you definitely learn how to deal with rough footing, which is always going to happen in a tournament, no matter really what time of year.
Right.
So I guess that's always a good thing about it.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a bad time to get hurt too. Like it scares me. Being a bigger body dude, I'm like always worried about my ankles. You know?
Oh, me too.
So it's like
that was the one thing I noticed yesterday was that the hard ground, if you step on something wrong and it's hard, I rolled my ankle like twice.
Yeah.
Jim, so he was like, "Oh, we saw you go down." I was like, "Yeah, I stepped on something real bad."
Yeah.
Just rolled my ankle.
Lucky I'm standing back up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the worst about falling. I slip, but I just let it go. I just let it go, and
I
it's
should. I'm definitely. I know that when to let it go. Like when I roll it bad enough, I just end up on the ground. Like my whole body just gives out, and I just roll into it. But sometimes I try to hold it. Like yesterday, it wasn't that bad of a roll, so I was like, "Oh, I should have went down because that was not good." But limped it off for a while. Luckily, I was only video recording, so I didn't have to worry about throwing.
Right.
Yeah. I know in our family, we're all super clumsy. Like, we all talk about it. Like, we meet at Christmas and Thanksgiving or whatever, and that's what we talk about. It's like, "Oh, so what happened to you this year?" Well, you're not going to believe, I walked into this sign that I should have seen easily, you know what I mean? And, like, we show off our bruises from it. Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh,
dropping something on her toe, like... Great day, you know what I mean? Like, we're having a great day. We're getting ready to walk out the door, broken pinky toe. You know what I mean? Whole entire month turned around.
It's terrible.
It's all good though. She's tough.
Yeah.
She gets on with it.
Yeah.
That's for real.
I've noticed that she must be tough, like physically, but definitely mentally, because like I've seen you put up with some of the craziest guys. Like you'd be the only girl in our league or whatever. And for me, I'm like my sisters would have been like gaunt. They'd be like, "This is crazy." Like I don't just hang out with guys or whatever. They're weird, But yeah, you just like kind of stick it out. You seem like you're having fun. I hope you are.
I have a blast.
If there's,
I love it.
Good. If there's ever any way I can make you have, help to have more fun, anyone ever says anything that's out of line, make sure you tell me.
For sure.
Yeah, I always want to see, more women in it. If you have any friends, that never play, even just tell them to come and watch.
I tell them to come hike with me all the time. Maybe this summer.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
For real.
Absolutely.
Just to
I
see
tell
it.
people too, I have more discs than I can shake a stick at.
Yeah.
You play enough tournaments, you just accumulate all these things. You never throw all these discs. I try to get ones that I already throw and for replacements, but eventually you end up with a bunch of stuff you'd never throw. So if anyone needs any, especially women and kids, just give them away.
Right.
I'm not going to ever throw them.
Right.
I try to downsize constantly because I swear every year I accumulate like 50 discs, and I'm just like,
how do you fit them all?
Want more. Yeah, I don't have room for more discs. Like, who can I give these to?
No,
so.
That's what our basement's kind of turning into.
Yeah.
The shelves.
But it's not a bad thing.
No, I don't have a problem accumulating them at all. I mean, it does mean that they end up in more people's hands.
Sure.
So whatever.
Right.
More the better.
No doubt.
Yeah. I think now a lot of the things that I look for, I love this.
Oh, yes. He falls like 5 times during that round.
Like he runs all the way to the white stripe. Like that's a bad place. Yeah.
We kept telling him that one round that we played there. Jim was there with us, and I was like, "Dude, you're stepping actually on the little
he was
little
too.
stick." That was on him.
No.
But yeah, he kept stepping on the end of the stick, and he was like, "Am I really? Am I really?" I'm like, "How do you think that your foot's coming out from underneath you like that?"
On grass, or on turf. Yeah.
Rest in peace, his ankle. Thank God. If that was me, I would be down and out for the count.
Right.
Shout out Josh Turner.
Oh, I know I would be. I'd have blown a knee out on that one.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
that looks super painful, honestly.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, every time I'm like, are you okay, dude? He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm alright, yeah. I'm like, okay, you got it.
Well, he's lighter than me. He must
No,
go down
way
a lot
lighter than
lighter.
me.
Yeah, I go down hard. It's never good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was watching this earlier. This is a great shot from
Yeah.
Isaac.
That was a 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like I would say, probably the hardest 2 on the whole course.
It's tough.
I've never had a look for a 2.
Jim was there one time. I took one off of the back tree and it banked in.
Yeah.
You remember that, Jim? A putt that went into the same little thicket of trees and right off of a tree went right in the basket for a bird.
On this hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever played Sasquatch without Jim, though, so I think every round that I've ever
Yeah.
played.
I
He
don't
was
think I
probably
have
there.
either,
Yeah.
actually. I think
Why-
every
why
round
would
I've played
you?
with him.
Right.
I know, right?
Right?
That's so fun.
Right? Enjoy the woods with Jim.
I feel like I'm always there.
Yeah, well, you are. You guys
That's what I
just crawl-
say. I went to Baroque this weekend just because I don't want to play Sasquatch.
Right? And
Yeah.
you always, like, we show up, and then Eli or Isaac just, like, come out of the woods.
Yep.
They're already there. They've already played half
They were
round.
chainsawing some things.
He's like, I played the first 6 holes. I cleared out, like, 3 right-of-ways. Yeah, every single time that I go there, they come out of the woods. They're already up there
They
playing.
love it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
love it.
absolutely love it.
They do. That's awesome.
And they
Gotta
are
have
the
people like
they
that.
are the reason that it looks the way that it
Yeah,
does.
dude. You
Had a
gotta
gentleman
have
come
people
in
like
to
that.
eat.
There's so many people that have had so much to do with it.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Different
And
people
you have to
made
have
different
people.
holes. Yeah.
for sure. You had a gentleman.
I had a gentleman come in to eat that was familiar with Sasquatch and said that he had talked to Isaac and he had just got done doing a bunch of work on the
That's-
course
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
he came in and out because we just got to conversation about disc golf in general and I try to spread the word. He had a little boy there and he said that he'd like to play and they wanted to get into it and I told him definitely to check it out, but
Yeah.
they had said that they had talked to Isaac. I knew exactly who
He
they were
had to have
talking
been there,
about.
right?
Yeah.
That's
It was
funny,
awesome.
man.
The guy that looks like Sasquatch.
He's
Yeah.
He's just free advertisement, man.
I
He's
keep,
there all day.
I keep telling him how famous he is,
Yeah.
how famous I'm making him. I'm
Yeah.
like, I take videos of you all the time. He's like, I don't look at it. He's not on Facebook. He's not on
Wow.
That's
YouTube.
funny.
He's not. He's barely on UDisc.
Eli,
He can
yeah.
barely even get his
That's
scorecard.
me. That's me. All those things come to my email address.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have
That's
one, so I
funny.
signed up for him.
Yep.
Oh,
I remember that. That was at League. You had to do that for him.
That's too
That's
funny.
hilarious. Yeah, this is awesome that you guys are going to really start because, like, I just keep thinking about how I spent my whole life in sports and I never saw this in Clarksburg.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was not talked about, like, in my hometown. This was not heard of. I mean, heard of. But,
Right.
no. Nobody played it. Nobody knew about it. And then it's like,
I didn't know much about it until he introduced me
Right.
to it. I was like, what are you going to go do?
Yeah.
it's awesome that even there was a little bit of a community going on down here when I moved here because
Yeah.
Clarksburg, they don't have a clue about it. And we just try to tell
That's interesting.
everybody to
Yeah.
play. Watch these videos, man. Check them out.
Yeah.
Check out some cool stuff. It's cool.
I think like ever since I've started, I mean, I've been playing for 11 years, and I mean, it's always been that. I've always had to tell people like, oh, well, this is what it is, and explain it to them. But I will say that like in Marietta, it's starting to be less that way.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with Broughton's.
Yeah.
The city went and built a little 9-hole course up
I
on
love it.
Gold Star. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of helped some with that, and
That's a great
I
practice course.
I
it
love
is a
that
great
course.
practice.
You can go
I
there.
take all the beginners there.
Yeah.
It is the best beginner
is the
course. You're not
best.
gonna lose a disc.
No.
You don't really
You
have to
can
hike very
play
much.
4
A little bit of
rounds,
uphill
really.
walks. Yeah,
You
but
could literally do it 4 times around
Oh,
if you
yeah.
had like a good little bit of time to just
Yeah.
hang out and play.
yeah,
It wouldn't even be hurt.
Not much time, right? Yeah,
And there's a lot of different like
yeah.
you could
Angle
really
shots.
shape shift if you're trying to
Yeah.
run everything. And
And a lot of the holes have different lines you can take. You can
Yeah.
definitely forehand or backhand.
For sure.
both ways.
it's cool.
And
I like it a
I've
lot.
played it actually front 9 was forehands, back 9 was backhand.
Okay.
And I've taken just a putter and
Yeah.
played it with a couple people, 2 mid in the putter
Yeah.
and play it.
That's
I
cool.
love those rounds, you know.
For sure.
Really, like, down, because I'm not really that, I've never been that good with mid-ranges. Like, the only mid-range I'm any good with is a buzz. And that's a great course to work on mid-range work.
For sure.
For sure.
Learn to throw 200 feet every time.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, hole one's a little further.
A little
but,
deeper.
But,
But still.
you're going downhill, so
Yeah.
it was meant to be the long, you know,
Yeah.
kind of a downhill throw. And I don't think I've gotten that one a few times. But that's a tough shot with that out of bounds on the right.
For sure.
Kind of have to like follow the road the whole way, stay out of bounds. But
That's
the wind
amazing.
loves to come up that road just right at the end of the throw and just keep you straight.
Right.
You know, yeah,
I
that's
like
a
that course.
fun course for
It's
sure.
cool.
So, what is the closest course to you guys?
Okay, so technically closest is Jackson now. Jackson Park.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that is, just...
And that's still.
Yeah, that's on the other
Across
side. So we're on South Side. We've actually come to terms that one of the closer courses to our house is Fork and Run.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
By the time we can just hop on 50, get to Hockingport, and the drive, there's no lights, there's no traffic, there's no
Right.
nothing. It may take me a half hour to get there, but it takes me that long to get to Vets.
Right.
Right.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah,
And you have the whole place to yourself.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
It's
Fork
so
and Run's
nice.
awesome.
It's beautiful
And
there.
That's one of the places you can go and just like play. You don't
Uh-huh.
have to play the whole deal, or you
Yeah.
can go there if you want a long, good day of golf that's going to like stretch you out real good. Like
Yeah.
that's a awesome course.
That is a great course.
And I like
And they
how it's
keep
like
it up really
it's
nice.
like open woods, a
Yeah.
little bit of open again, heavy
It's
woods,
super tight.
wide open
Yeah.
woods,
Yeah.
woods, and
Yeah.
you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
all over the place. I like
Yeah.
it a lot.
There's
So,
every shot for sure.
for sure.
Yeah. That one, playing 2 rounds in a tournament on that one in the summertime, that one about kills me for sure.
Mhm.
And I gotta get in better shape for that one.
Yeah. That'd be
24
tough.
holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
48 back to back in a day.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. It is. And I do love it when we play some of those tournaments where they just leave out some of the wooded holes. So
Right.
it's only like
They just
18
cut them
holes.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Custom scorecard.
11, 12, 13,
Yeah.
14
Those
can
are
be
yeah.
forgotten.
Good to take off the backside. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of them are uphill. You know?
Yeah.
And they're brutal. Or like the one that you're throwing on that side hill, and if you go right or left, it's just, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been over there a few times. Not so fun.
I did that the other day there, and
Yeah.
actually re-teed
Yeah.
before I went down to get my
Yeah.
disc.
That's not a bad
I
idea.
still threw a 4.
Yeah.
No, I didn't throw a bird off. It was a 5 for sure.
Yeah.
But it was still a good shot.
It might have been worse if you,
Right.
I went down over the hill one time. Took me like 2 throws to get back just to the top edge of the hill, and then 2 more to the basket.
Yeah.
It was bad. I probably should have re-teed.
Right.
Yeah, and especially because when I teed it, I was like, I know exactly what I just did wrong. You know, there was like no commitment. I
Right.
probably would have teed better the second time.
Right.
I really need to think of that option sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those forgettable options for sure.
Hockey Punk 121 says,
That is.
fun course when short. Not a course I like to play long.
Is this this is 40.
Shout out to Noah.
Yeah.
Well, he's
this
a
is
hockey
Noah.
player, it looks like.
Yeah,
he
is.
So,
So he did that last summer. He put a review in on that. So
yeah.
I would have to agree. I don't know. I just like it. It's nice. I don't know if
It's so different than playing most of our.
I like.
Yeah,
alright,
exactly.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Definitely needs attention, but if you're a hiker, you won't mind it. Still looking for a few missing baskets.
with a little cursing at the
There's
end
no,
of the
yeah,
review.
there's no missing baskets, buddy. I'm
No,
sorry.
there's not. Yeah, they're not missing. You just don't
No.
know where they're at. That's funny, man.
Oh my
That's
God.
but that's one of my favorite places to go for sure.
Yeah.
But Jackson's right on the other side of town.
Yeah.
Vets is I just love Vets because of the concrete tee pads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can go there when it's snowing, when it's doing whatever, and you can guarantee you can at least throw some clean drives.
Yeah.
I just made the statement
That's a
the other
tough course,
day.
too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's
a
cool
lot of challenging shots. Plus,
Yeah.
you know, Scott seems to move a basket every time I go there.
Yeah.
for sure.
And, yeah.
Which is always
I love it,
fun
man.
because it's always
Oh, yeah.
something different, and
Yeah.
it's like a different course every time you go. And
Yeah.
that's a course I learned to play on, so that's my.
And that place has taught me, like, actually that picture right there, that's taught me how to, like, break down Like instead of trying to give everything the gusto, this whole 10 tee pad there. So it's like I'm starting to just like do layup game.
Yeah.
And this is a par 4, sir. Okay, so you don't have to get to the pin. There's a
Get to
man
the
over
opening,
here.
yeah.
So I'm out here trying to press, and I keep getting way up here, and I can barely get back in bounds, and I'm getting really far off the tee box. But this course has done a lot of teaching to me of like, just get something up there nice, take another second up
It's
shot.
really an easy 3 if you land in the opening.
Yeah.
And the opening is not, it's like 200 feet maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not all about.
So many people try to get like past the trees, and I'm like, that's a perfect drive, and you got to come back in bounds that way.
Oh, this one's a good tester too. Is this hole at 8?
Technical 8.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the more. You have to be super clean off that tee box.
You do.
It makes you Anheuser if you're gonna
Yeah.
backhand
Yeah,
or
that is
throw
very true.
a forehand Anheuser. Very difficult.
on that note,
uphill.
I throw my flippiest disc on a hyzer flip.
Yeah.
And I hope that, obviously I'm trying to hit that first gap.
Right.
And then if it flips like really fast, it usually misses, the trees in the middle on the right. If it flips slow, it goes through the gap and ends up like right on top of that, hill near the basket.
Yeah. It's so fun playing with all you guys because like I feel like I kind of learned how to play backwards.
Yeah.
I learned how to throw forehand first.
Me too, actually.
Me too,
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
He was super strong when I first met him.
I would not throw a backhand.
No, he
except
was
for
all
my putter.
forehand.
Yeah. And I kind of have. I don't think it's a problem because I think it teaches me a lot of how the discs fly and how they can come back, and then that helps because you can kind of overcompensate a little more. I think with your torque, with a backhand. Does that make any sense? Like, so I kind of feel like I learned how to throw really overstable discs.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Yeah.
And get them to float out as much as they can and then come back.
Right.
And
so a lot of like forehand flexes.
Yeah, basically.
A lot of swizzle.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a lot of beginners that I know.
And that's like.
That was your ace on hole 15.
Yeah, and then like watching everybody throw backhand, like on this hole, like you guys all backhand basically for the most part. And I like that, and everybody sees me come up to the box and they're like, "Why is he throwing forehand?
Yeah.
Why is he throwing
I
forehand?"
can see a forehand.
I do
like
that
a
a lot.
hyzer flip forehand would be great. I think up through there. Is that what you're trying to throw up through there?
I still.
Or are you trying to go through that right gap?
No, I poke it straight through.
Really?
Yeah, and it just
It swizzles
finishes back. Yeah,
It
it just
does
does the
swizzles.
move. It makes the move, baby.
Only time I've ever made
Dancing.
it to the top of the hill was a forehand, flex. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
I've been
right
up
over
there
the log,
twice.
turning left.
Yeah.
This time last year, I couldn't even make it to the first
to the
log.
log,
Now
yeah.
I'm making it all the
Seriously.
way to the second and close to the.
Nice.
Up into the
It's
hillside.
exciting. It's super fun. When I first started out, I was throwing an F7, and an F7 through Prodigy goes
Yeah.
straight right.
Oh yeah.
And I was throwing it on a hyzer, and I was barely making it go anywhere. It's
making
so funny.
progress, man. It's like cutting the fat off. You know what I'm saying? The little things.
Yeah.
That's baseball. That's softball.
Well, you
Just
can
so
see that
much
you're a
fun.
natural athlete.
Well,
Like
I
yeah.
when
played
I watched
softball
you
my
play,
whole life.
For sure.
and I could definitely see that. Like,
Johnny C.
So you played your
Shot
whole
a
life. Like
59
when did you start?
at
How
Vets
old?
on the red tees.
What is it?
How
Yes,
old
sir.
were you when you started?
Softball?
Yeah.
Oh, like
was
7.
that?
7.
That's
Wow.
not-
And then
Okay.
I was a tumbler since I was like 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I did like
Okay.
that, and then I switched to softball, and I was like 7, and did like travel softball and all that, and played in college, and then moved back home and started playing disc golf.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
This has
You
been
can
the
definitely
most.
tell you're competitive.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
I
yeah.
watch you like everybody gets upset with themselves when they miss something, but like there's that level of like I'm upset with myself, but this is what I'm gonna do to change it.
Yeah.
I can like see that on your face.
You just gotta
It's
learn
amazing.
from
yeah.
it and move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've talked about that so much from starting out playing. We used to get so angry, and but we want to have fun. It's more about having fun at a ram,
Yes.
and you don't have to take it so serious all the time. It's more learning every time you go
ruin the
out.
fun.
Yeah.
There's been times I took a break from disc golf because I
sure.
didn't learn that fast enough.
Right.
So and I hated that I had to take a break from it to figure that out.
Right.
But when I came back to it, and then meeting the right people that's all they ever did was have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were having way more fun than me. I was just like, yeah, I need to
Such
work
a
on myself
such a life
here.
lesson,
I
really.
need to
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jim saw me when I first started playing. I'd like to think that I've like really,
Dude,
down.
you're working on your life, not just your
Yeah,
game.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, it's
I've
taught
seen
me
that.
tons about
Patience.
Yeah.
life. Oh, patience, acceptance.
Yeah.
Like I just threw it. I have to accept where it lands.
Where it
lands.
I'm not going to change
It just
Right.
humbles
you.
you. It
Right.
humbles you totally.
And you realize you're wasting money when you start tearing up equipment and things like that.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
never
Stupid.
fun to do.
It is.
Even if
Yeah.
you take a putter and spike it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. It's not going to fly again.
I've
It's the
crumpled.
right same way.
I've crumpled like
Yeah.
2 or 3 putters when I first started. Like,
Yeah.
why did you do that? And
Yeah.
one was the first run. Like, why
Yeah,
did you do
yeah,
that?
yeah.
You know?
It's a wall hanger
I still
now.
have it. I still have it. It's crumpled. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, not good. That's
Yeah.
not fun, And then I sat back and look at it, and you're like, and then you see other people do it, and you really,
I
like,
saw
I don't
that
wanna do
early.
that.
Well, I actually saw that early in golf, like ball golf, because like ball golf guys, they're usually loaded. They could
Mhm.
care less if they break their their driver that
Right.
was $280
Yeah.
or whatever. And I watch him just like I've even like yelled at a couple like wait
Yeah,
I'll take that. I actually got
Don't
my
break it.
driver is from a guy who was about
Yeah.
to break his driver.
Yeah.
I have a really sweet wedge from a guy who was going to chuck it into the water.
Yeah.
I was just like, wait,
Please.
Yeah,
and he's
please.
like, I hate this stupid. Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you. I can't afford that. So
I can't lie to you. I've done that with discs before.
Yeah.
Just you throw something, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and you're like, you know what? That thing has been talking to me
yeah,
to just let it go.
yeah,
That's what happened at Forked the other day, and then I
Oh
ended up.
my.
I went down there. I walked down that hill that we were talking about earlier. I
Yeah.
walked down that hill to get this disc because it was my baby,
right.
and it's just started to kind of. I'm beating it down, and it's flipping over on me, and I threw it again later, and it went in the water, and I was like.
Yeah,
That's where it had to have been. Or I've let people be like, you know what? If you want it, it's there. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding that.
It's all yours.
Oh man, I
that's
hate to be
kind of
like
how
that.
Jim and I like pretty much met. Like well, I played in this trilogy challenge for MVP.
Yeah.
The fairway driver on it that they gave was the flippiest thing I've ever seen. Dude, I
Okay.
threw it on I'm not lying,
Yeah.
a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
I tried to throw it almost straight up in the air, so
Yeah.
I was like, if you throw it that high, it can't flip.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
It did. It flipped all the way over and went as far right as I've ever seen. It
Yeah.
went a long way. Like, I bet it went almost 400 feet. And I was like, man, I threw that thing straight up in the air. How could it have even done that? So it didn't go anywhere. I never did find it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I actually re-teed because I was like, I'll never find that.
Right.
I have no idea where it even headed.
Right.
You know. And so I ended up throwing the mid-range pretty much the rest of the round.
Yeah.
It was a
And it
beautiful.
worked
I
out.
still throw that same. It's a matrix. Is
Yep.
what it is. Still
Worked
throw
out.
it. Jim found it like maybe a month or two later. And when he called me, I was like, "Yeah, I found your disc. You want it back?" Nope. I was like, "You please
got it."
keep that disc because I will never throw that thing again. I don't even know how to throw it. It's
Like,
so
exactly.
flippy."
My cousin still tries to throw it. It's dragging his game down as we speak.
I love it. Good.
Give it away.
Yes.
All the ones I couldn't figure out, you just give them to your
The
family.
gift
Man.
that keeps on giving.
That disc is
Literally.
only good for like a 8-year-old
Yeah.
that has no strength
Nothing.
whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Flips it
Oh,
over
so-
out of the
yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was the flippiest disc I've ever thrown.
Yeah.
Hated it. I don't even know what it was. The name of it. I should have
Right.
checked just so I never buy one.
Right.
Yeah.
Trilogy challenge.
Well, how about if we take a break for a minute?
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds
We're
good to me. Yeah.
All right.
Good deal.
All right.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hey, I love that shit, dude. That's good.
And we're back.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
All right. All right, John. So, one of the biggest reasons, I wouldn't say the biggest reasons. I mean, I love both you guys. I love playing with you. But
Absolutely.
one of the reasons that I wanted to bring you on the show is that I heard you were sponsored this year.
Oh yes.
And I love that.
I do
guys
too.
Definitely need to be sponsored.
It was sick.
Yeah.
The way that it came about, really.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's from Appalachian Disc Golf.
Yeah.
Also, if you need anything, honestly, I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
I'm in this shop all the
Yeah.
time.
He does have a
AppalachianDiscGolf.com.
great little shop.
He's got an
going
awesome
on.
selection of
Yeah.
stuff, man, and it's
Yeah.
not it's not happening down here like that.
Yeah.
And he's making it happen in a store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that. I like seeing his stuff.
He puts a lot of effort into disc golf around here. I mean, there's 9 holes at Jackson Park because of him.
Yeah.
Julian Powell.
Yes.
That is that's impressive to me.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what I could do to motivate him to finish the rest of the 9.
Yeah.
I'd love to, because the first 9 they're sweet.
Yeah.
They
so
are fun.
the way that everything kind of has been working with that is that basically we plan on people to watch this video too. So if anybody wants to get involved,
it's volunteerism all
Yeah,
the way across.
Definitely
If you
volunteer.
guys didn't notice what our logo is, it's called the Disc Golf Collective.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what we do.
It's a chainsaw.
Because we work.
Because you have to work. And
That's right.
it's hard, man. It's hard to orchestrate grown men that have jobs and lives and things that are going
Interests.
on. Yeah. To get them all together to be able to, work at the same time or whatever. So it's been kind of hard for me to get out there a lot
Yeah.
recently.
Right.
I want this bad. You know what I mean? I want there to be disc golf baskets at parks,
Yeah.
just random parks.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a couple baskets, it doesn't have to be
I agree.
18.
It
You know,
doesn't, no.
just I want to help, and the way that we're doing that is like Jim just said. It's just straight volunteering, and
Every hour counts.
and it does, and
Yeah.
it's just about just going out there and doing it, honestly.
Yeah.
And the way that whole deal just came up, man, he saw a good energy in me, I think, and
Yeah. I agree.
I have
And we've gotten a lot of our
products
our
from
disc,
him.
all of our Prodigy discs and stuff, because we throw all Prodigy.
Nice.
And
that just came about because it's just like anything else, it's numbers and it's
Yeah.
a system.
Yeah.
That system was easy for me at first to read.
Me too.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of my first discs were Prodigy.
My
Yeah.
first, I thought about this earlier because I knew I was coming over here and I wanted to think about the first disc that I actually bought. It was a Gateway putter, so Wizard.
Yeah.
And it literally feels almost exactly like my PA3s.
You know I love
Yes.
wizards.
yes.
Oh yeah. Jim is the wizard.
The wizard.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely likes Wizards.
But it's almost the same putter as a PA3, really. And when I put
Yeah.
the PA3 in my hand, and I liked it, that was the first disc that I think I bought at Prodigy. And then I looked into their system, man, and it was easy for me. So then, I'm kind of the info between I'm the connecting point between disc golf and her playing. So
That is very
I just
true.
kind of bought her a set of the same stuff that I was looking at or whatever.
Yeah.
And we both just kind of stuck with it. I
Well,
love
and
it.
it helps, when you know the disc
Mhm.
and you're trying to help someone outfit their
Right.
bag. You're like, okay, well I know what this does,
Right.
and this might fit your throw. I mean,
Right.
that makes total
That
sense.
H3V too, that's probably
That's
one of
her-
my
that's one of her
favorite
babies.
discs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
H3.
I've
You
never
can
sure.
really flip
Yeah,
that
I'll do
disc
the
over. And
H2.
$17.49 at
Yeah.
Appalachian Disco.
Boom.
love that
And he's
disc.
got a few there. I know he does. I've already seen him.
All right.
She throws. So it's funny because you see couples that come out or whatever, and they look like they throw alike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
She has her own style of how she
Yeah.
throws, and it blows my mind. She's really adapted to doing her own thing. She's a backhand fool.
Yeah.
She can throw a disc straight. I can't.
Yeah.
I really can't. I can't
Yeah.
throw a driver. I'm like that fast pitcher that can throw 92 miles an hour, but he's like.
Anything
Yeah.
forehand, it will look like him because
Oh, yeah.
anything forehand
She
I
does
throw
try
right
to
after
copy
him.
my
I like
forehand.
watch
I see
him.
that a little bit, but she tells me that. She looks at me, and I
Yeah.
feel like I throw forehand well, so that maybe not a bad thing for her to look at that. I don't know, I don't know.
Well, I saw you throw an ace forehand.
Yeah,
And
well,
a shot that I didn't even think was possible, so
That's
I'm going to say
crazy.
you're a great forehand.
well, thank you. My second ace came about 2 months later at a practice round at Nellie's course at
Oh my
Greenbrier.
gosh,
Yeah.
that was such a
which
wonderful
is a beautiful
tournament.
course. If you ever get time to go down there and try that out, man, it's
Yeah.
literally on this guy's
Yeah.
property. Like it's in his,
Maybe I did
house.
once.
Yeah.
It's
beautiful.
Yeah.
I threw a practice round ace there with
You
the
said
same
Nellie's
disc.
Revenge, right?
Nellie's course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, okay. I think maybe that's not the
That was
same
super
one.
cool.
Well, they played
Yeah.
it in the Greenbrier Valley Open last year. That was
Oh,
my
wow.
that was my first actual big let's try and go out of town a little bit, put a little bit of effort into it. Like, played the first round and then I lost my wallet. Oh my God, it was detrimental, dude. It was like in the middle of my vacation.
Life lesson.
Yeah, another life lesson. We were just talking about life lessons. Such a life lesson.
So
and then, dealing with that and playing, it was cool. It taught me a lot, really, about myself and to pay attention to more.
It's funny. I've kind of watched your transformation a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love what disc golf has done for me, and I'm watching it do it to you.
Yeah.
So I was also very high temper. You know what I mean? And I played soccer and basketball my whole life, and they're super fast paced. And
basketball is one of the easiest sports to actually be to fight.
Absolutely.
Faster.
Yeah.
If you actually
and to be a jerk in and be accepted. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, some of the attitudes that I had when I was younger and that I saw on video and watched myself, I am horrible. Like, I don't even like myself right now, So, that started to teach me. Then I watched, started playing disc golf and seeing the people in disc golf and some of the things that just the kindness. You know what I mean? Where I just threw the worst shot and people are like, oh man, just pick it up, you'll be fine. Next shot's fine.
You have a really good out from there. You'll be. That's a great
every
shot.
Yeah, you got a putt, and you're like, that's not a putt. And they're just trying to be, friendly. That doesn't happen in basketball. In basketball, when you miss a shot, not only is your team hard on you, the other team is 10 times harder on you. Like, what? Like, you shouldn't be on this court. And your team's like, what are you doing, man? And you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much pressure from everywhere,
It's the truth.
Whereas disc golf, the only pressure is between your ears, what I mean? It's your own brain, and that's the biggest thing that I love about disc golf. It has taught me, so much about life.
It's an individual team effort.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like, you're there on your own, but you're there because of everybody else too. It is that's cool. I have done a lot, been through a lot, been through some emotional stages of life that were, stressful, bad.
Right.
And this is a sweet deal to be a part of. And the fact that it's when I first started, I honestly kind of thought it was a geeky thing. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people still portray it to be.
Yeah.
I tell some people about playing or about trying, and they it's almost like they think it's like a dorky sport. Yeah. And I don't get it. It's such an and it's on the grow. Yeah. I just tell people, just watch. Well,
if me being included in it is why it seemed dorky. I was a total dork when I was in high school. I played every sport there was, but I was no one understood me. I was often, one of the top athletes, and definitely in basketball, soccer. I played, many positions, and I was always a studier of the game. So I tried to learn what's the coach doing, what's the players doing, what's the guy at the the score table doing, what are the refs doing.
Right.
Because if you know all of that, then you can really know that sport.
Absolutely.
And that's the same way I am with disc golf. It's the same way with every sport.
For sure.
That's how I understand sports. So I don't know. I always really dove into to every bit of it, which is kind of how I guess I ended up doing a podcast.
Doing this,
And
that's where we're at with it. I went straight head first for it. Yeah. As soon as I started playing, I think I didn't have any discs of my own for maybe a week.
Yeah.
And then it was just like you said, my buddies were throwing me a few here and there, and then I went and I bought my first couple on my own, and then I needed a bag, and then I needed
he just had to
20
show
discs.
seriousness.
And now you're sponsored.
There you go.
And now I'm sponsored, he said.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Awesome. Yeah.
That is how it works, man.
Yeah.
He just plain out asked me one day.
Well, I'll say, if Julian's out there looking to sponsor anybody else,
right? Yes.
Just saying.
Positive attitudes. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome, man.
Absolutely.
That's it's something that I think is it's not new. He's done it before, but I think it's a new vibe.
Yeah.
I think he's really trying to. He's seeing
He
a younger
definitely
community
seems like,
coming
he
into
seems to
it.
be waking up. Not that he was sleeping or anything, but he just has a new energy.
Right?
Into it.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
Like I see it. Like he's really trying to. Seems like to get the younger kids trying to play it. Getting the schools more involved around his area.
Absolutely.
I would love to see that stuff pop up.
Blennerhassett Island.
Tying in with the community, the Blennerhassett Island was an awesome thing.
Yeah.
We went over and
He had it set up for the 2019 Paddle Fest. 2019.
Mhm.
And then we went back over last year and we set it up, and it didn't get any publicity, barely because of COVID, you know.
Yeah.
And man, that is something in the future that I hope, like, it's on an island.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
That's
it's a
pretty
9-hole course, and it's
Right.
on a 9. You feel like you're on vacation over there, man. You know what I mean? You just go
Right.
over there and you play, and it's one of those deals where you play like 4 or 5 rounds, and then you get back on the. If you have kayaks, you can get over there on
so
kayaks.
much
or whatever.
fun, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
you
a
got a
10
you got a
course.
pass for the ferry, right?
Yeah.
You can get on the ferry, and then last year we tried to think about doing like a club, like a ticket deal or whatever, or seasonal deal,
Yeah.
and COVID, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just is like blunt force.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
happened to everybody.
It's
So
hard to get things going.
this year was supposed to be like rookie year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm happy that it wasn't.
Yeah.
I learned so much just in the past like couple months about my game.
Yeah.
Discs in general. And,
Discs,
Yeah.
throwing different discs,
Yeah.
throwing different ways, playing with
Jared's
a lot of
putting
different
league.
people.
Wow,
Putting league,
yeah.
That
Putting
makes you
league
so much
played
better.
was so
putting.
much
super
fun.
huge part of my, I guess not successes, but I mean getting better is a personal success. So,
Yeah.
getting my own basket.
Yeah. Super
Which
important.
I won in a tournament. That was
Nice.
like I won some store credit. I
Yeah.
went to the store, Van Man Discs in Huntington.
Oh, love Van Man.
super good dude.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Love
I
Van
walked
Man.
in the store. I had like $151 store credit. He was like $150 for the basket.
By
I
the
handed
way,
him the ticket. I didn't ask any question. I didn't look at nothing else.
You
I
won
need
the
a basket.
tournament, so that's why. He got to win the tournament. So
That's what I said.
Yeah, you won the tournament.
Yeah. And that was cool. So
Yeah.
that was
Awesome.
I got a
What division?
basket. That was rec. So
Okay,
that
nice.
was, I know I keep saying first. So the Greenbrier Valley was like my first bigger tournament. It was a
Right.
longer weekend tournament. That's what I was meaning by that. The
Charles.
Cabell County Classic this year was my first actual step in and play my own individual 18 and 18 tournament.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge tournament, and it was cool. I ended up showing up. I
So,
played
yeah.
the courses blind, and I ended up.
58-61.
Yeah, I threw the first round. I think I threw
Hit the round ratings.
the first round. I had an awesome round.
Up, yeah, right there.
Yeah, and then
Oh.
the first round I was
933.
killing it, and then
Yeah,
the
that's
second
hot.
round I played Indian Rock, and if you know anything about
I
Indian
did
Rock.
play it. I played it in the Ice Bowl.
That's a
last year.
solid round,
That's
dude.
a
I
great
still
round.
threw like
Yeah.
a +4 blind, so I was
I got
okay
second.
with that.
I got second, and I don't think I threw better than that. And
Yeah.
I did play Masters, but
This
yeah, that's a
dude,
good, that's
the
a
dude
good
that got
round.
second was on my card.
Yeah.
He actually fell on glass and cut his hand, bro, in the middle
His
of a
throwing
round.
hand?
No,
Oh.
it wasn't his throwing
Okay,
hand.
but
But
yikes.
still, slit his hand wide open, so he had to play with a towel wrapped around his hand the whole
Oh
rest
my
of the round.
goodness.
So yeah, like
Oh.
we came into that round, I was beating him. You can see, but
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I almost gave it back to him, and he
Yeah.
was playing
See,
with
he
some
was
blood.
playing hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was doing
Like
it.
I'm bleeding.
Yeah, it was
I'm
that was a
running
good day.
on adrenaline.
That was a good day. So from
Yeah.
direct result of winning that tournament, man, I got myself a basket straight up. That was all I wanted out of it.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a sweet deal.
Well, I'll tell you, I played in a Van Man tournament a couple of years ago. Maybe it might have been 3. I think it was 2.
Go to the women, Jim.
Yeah.
Now
And,
the women. Listen, I'm listening to
oh
you.
yeah, definitely. We got to see those. But when you signed up, I think it was like $100. You got a basket, like 2 or 3 discs, a T-shirt. There was so much like stuff in the players pack, and like the basket was worth $100. You
Right.
know what I mean? I actually ended up putting that in the country store when I ran a festival a couple years ago, and put that in the country store to like auction it off or whatever. raised a bunch of money with it,
Yeah.
But I won like 2 bags that year. Most of them were at his tournaments.
Yeah.
And he has great, prizes. There's always, tons of added money and tons of effort. He's got a whole team that helps run it. Love his tournaments.
Yeah.
And I went to one at Marshall University. You ever been to one of his down there?
No.
Go to it.
Yeah.
So much fun. It's like this little short tournament. You're basically throwing putters.
Yeah.
Everything's
That's
got
cool.
tons of out of bounds. You better
That was the
dial
first-
in your shots, your putts.
Yeah. That was my
And,
first man
Oh, we
tournament.
had a lot of fun at that.
Yeah.
At the one I went to. Yeah.
That's sick.
That was my first ever tournament.
Oh
I
yeah,
ever
that
played
was.
in.
I forgot that one was the one that just you and Libby really just played with each other. You both did really well, but the Greenbrier Valley Open is the one that Brittany went down there and was slaying it, dude.
Yeah.
She was scoring with the intermediate girls.
Nice.
Yeah, she was
Awesome.
killing
Yeah,
it.
so
I think I got
Yeah.
18th or 15th or something like that out of like 32 guys or something.
Yeah.
It was like a middle of the pack kind of rounds. The
Yeah.
second round was not good, but yeah, she.
Yeah, I threw, I think, even my first round and then +3 my second round.
Yeah, she was killing
It
it.
was so much fun down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Greenbrier Valley Open.
I
Yeah,
had a
if
great
any-
card. It was great
That-
vibes. It was so much fun.
That'll be back around next year if anybody. Yeah,
All right.
that's a sick one to get into. It's late in the season. It's
Yeah.
Beautiful
down
time of the year
Yeah,
too
that's
to
what
be
I'm
down
saying.
Any
there.
idea what club runs that one?
Oh yes, I do.
Charles Dalton.
Yes.
Brooke
Okay.
Johnson?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I've
It
met.
was a guy and a girl, I knew
I have
that,
met
yeah.
Brooke Johnson before.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure I have too. Yeah.
She came
I-
to
They-
she came to Cedar Lakes one time.
They were so on point, man. Everything was so nice. They
It was
they
so
incorporated
great.
the community into their player pack pickups.
Yeah.
Like you had to go to a bar and get your stuff.
Like right
Yeah.
downtown. It was super cool.
Streamlined discs that were
Mhm.
stamped. They were sweet. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
That's get into that, man, if you can.
Okay.
That's an awesome tournament. And like
Yeah.
I said, the country at that point in time in October or whatever, it was like
Yeah.
orange.
Right.
It's beautiful. So
Mhm.
try that one out. But she lit that one up. That was a good day for her. That was a
It
good
was
weekend
super
for her,
fun.
for sure. Yeah, so then you got these girls that are playing, with those scores, and then she's down.
Not right.
There I
Next
was.
one,
You
there
passed
we
me.
go.
I think I
Oh,
got
there we go.
17th. I tied for 17th. Right there. That's not good.
Oh yeah.
But, like I said, yeah, my second day was not a very fun, emotional day.
It was
There
rough.
she is, 54, 58.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
she
was so
killed it.
much fun.
Get those round ratings. There you
Yeah,
go.
dude.
That is great.
Yeah. She got the
Let's
827,
go.
838.
Man, look at the difference between first and second in there.
Yeah. Hey, and these
Man.
these women are great.
They,
know what I mean?
They,
They-
were so
they-
much fun.
Those are
Yeah.
big names from I think the Huntington,
Huntington area for
yeah,
sure.
they're
Yeah,
super
they're
good people.
a group
Yeah.
of
Stacy
3.
goes by Panda. They're good people, man.
They,
Mhm.
they joined at the exact same time. They forced each other.
Yeah.
PDGA numbers
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually mom and daughter.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Yeah,
Really
it
nice.
is.
It is. It was awesome.
They must
They're
have
super awesome
hesitated in
people.
between signing up.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kate.
Yeah,
Kate's
Maybe,
an awesome
maybe there's
chick,
another
too.
sister
I know.
or
Yeah.
a son.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and Kate's just friends of the daughter, and it's like a cute, what I mean? They
Yeah.
been playing down there for.
They
They're
were all good
huge in the
people.
community. Everybody knew them, and they're
Yeah,
a great,
from that area,
great
they're-
group of people. It was so much fun.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good time.
Well, one thing I'm going to say, Brittany, is that it's the new year. It might be time to get that PDGA.
She's gonna
I
get it.
know. We really need
She's
to.
gonna
We
get
want to be able to click this button right here.
That's
and
right.
it's all
Yeah.
about you.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's actually what she got me for my Christmas present.
Nice.
She renewed
Nice.
my
Awesome.
membership. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're still, just like I said, last year was going to be the rookie year, and this year really is kind of where we're at with it. We're
Yeah.
going to try and really make
Yeah.
a cool little run at some
Nice.
stuff, and so then with that being said, we're kind of taking it step by step. Does that make sense? We're not really
Yeah.
kind of jumping into it full bore with both of
I
us
think, like,
because
later
it's
in the
just
season.
us when we go. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it'd be like, we're going to go, we're going to play in the tournament, we're going to stay with us, and we're going to
Yeah.
come back and drive and do all that. So it kind of helps having her with me, for me to play. I guess that's kind of selfish a little bit, but she
you can take turns. You can be the
yeah,
bad boy.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Get me a white claw.
Yeah, right. So it's definitely, we're gonna try and do some tourneys and see how it goes, but she's definitely gonna get into the women's divisions in some middle of the season tournaments. It's gonna be fun. Good. I'm excited for her.
Yeah.
For real.
I'm super excited.
I'm probably more excited for her.
I'm
honestly.
really excited to meet more women in general.
Seeing
in the
women
sport.
play is like
because around
awesome.
here you don't. You know what I mean?
It is. I got to see a lot of women when I lived in Washington, and I got to see Katrina and Paige
That's awesome.
and
Heck yeah.
Paige Pierce. Like seeing someone that's literally almost half as tall as me.
Yeah.
Throw like almost twice as far. I watched Katrina throw in a hole where she threw 600 feet.
Yeah.
I used to barely clear this like swamp area, like maybe a 350-foot shot, and she just crushed it, and I was like, okay, well that is interesting. I see that when she reaches back, she's almost touching the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, like my back can't do all that, but that's amazing. And the other thing was just how smooth everything was.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so it's form. It has nothing to do with strength.
Right.
I was just like, before that, I was like, just ripping everything with muscle. There was no form whatsoever. And it definitely changed like everything I did about disc golf when I watched it. My daughter, what was interesting, she actually caddied for Zoe Andike while Katrina was there, Paige was there, on this beautiful course in Washington, in Shelton, Washington. I'm trying to remember what it's called. We can probably look it up. I can put it on here later. But anyway, Shelton Springs. That's it.
Okay.
They make the fairways in this course look like like a disc, well not a disc, but like a golf course, but in the woods.
Yeah.
Like everything's raked and manicured, and like the amount of work and there's really like 5 guys that do all of it.
Anything with the second word springs is always like you can just go ahead and guarantee.
Super hard though. I mean, some of the craziest like that like hyzer flip up, and then it has to go straight first and then turn right late.
Right.
It has like 3 shots like that, and they're like, you have to turn late at like 280 feet. You know what I mean? And you're like, I can't throw
I don't have
that.
knowledge.
And you
That's
definitely,
crazy.
forehand doesn't even
Like
work there because it has to actually go straight after that,
Right.
and then come out of that turn. You're like, that is the most
How's it
difficult
even
shot
work?
I've ever seen.
Right.
Yeah, and a few of them, if you like, hit something early and kick, super far left or right, you
Good
may
luck.
never see the disc
Trouble.
again.
Yeah, for sure. That's the worst.
So,
Scramble.
but yeah, so I watched my daughter caddied for Zoe. Watched them play 2 rounds. She caddied for her for 2 rounds, and it's crazy.
This is hilarious.
And
Gotta
then
get that basket love.
so we played this one course. It's called NAD Park, NAD Park,
Okay.
in Washington. Haley, her best round was a +11 prior to watching Zoe and them play, which is a great score. I think she was 11 at the time.
Yeah.
So then, she watches Zoe, watches Christine, or not Christine, but who did I just say? Katrina, Paige.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the course. I think the tournament ended on a Sunday. We went back to that course the next Saturday, and Haley plays around with me. She shoots a +2. Knocked off 8 strokes, and I know it was like she changed so many things about her. Like one of the things Zoe does, and I love that she does, is she always like checks her surroundings and does this whole like sweep, to like make sure I'm not gonna hit anything.
Yeah.
And Haley started doing that, which like completely changed. Like she would like, throw into the first branch in front of her because she didn't check to see that it was gonna work or whatever. So many choices changed after I watched that. It was
Cutting the fat off.
fascinating. That's it. Cutting tons
It
of
is.
fat.
Yeah.
And she I think if she would have stuck to it, which I hope she'll get back to it someday. I think she will. she'll probably be like a Paige.
Right.
You know, she can throw huge shots because she's super strong.
Yeah.
That's great.
Some of the best form. She actually taught me my form.
Yeah.
I was videotape. I would like caddy for her
Yeah.
and videotape her, and then like I was watching her form. Like, that's not at all what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even run up, and she's throwing, you know, dead straight down fairways.
Yeah.
You know, and going way past what I'm going.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm doing it way wrong. You know, like this is a mess. You know what I mean? And definitely started slowing down and doing a lot more of what she did.
Yeah.
And I probably told that story on our podcast already. Sorry, guys.
Hey.
But yeah, it's always one of my favorite things to watch. But I really love just watching any beginner start to figure out like, oh, form is what's doing this.
Right.
You know, and watching them slow down and figure it out. My buddy Jacob, I've been watching him do that a lot lately.
Yeah.
And his putting is getting ridiculously better.
He does kill it.
He does. Yeah, we were out in the yard, my front yard, this earlier today, and he was nailing putts. I like made us go like we were playing horse.
Yeah.
And, I was like behind my car and my truck. They're not really like lined up together, but they're kind of offset.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see the basket like over the tailgate, and, over the hood of the car. And it was at least a 45, 50 footer. I tried both of them. I did nick the chains barely with one. He just drains them both.
Both of them.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, that's not possible.
Killing it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So,
That's awesome.
It's the consistency,
yeah,
man.
Zoe, she is by far one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know if she has a list. Yeah, Universal play
That's
disc
great.
golf.
Oh, yeah.
She goes around to like around the whole world, I believe. She's been to a bunch of other countries teaching disc golf.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Her and what is his name? It's right here. His name. I never remember it.
Tim McDill?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, what is his name? I should know it.
Richard Reister.
No. Her best friend, Zoe's best friend, is usually in most pictures. That's not one. That's him right there too. Dustin Keegan.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they go travel the world basically and teach
That's awesome.
Tons of disc golf.
Yeah.
Look at that.
She actually had stitches in her
So
mouth
crazy.
at one point where she was teaching disc golf,
Oh,
and a kid. I've actually seen it because I taught disc golf last year, or I guess it was 2019, but. A kid like threw a driver like pretty much point blank from like 5 feet away, hit her right in the mouth, and she ended up with like I think 40 stitches, 50 stitches, a lot. She got a scar from it, but didn't stop her a bit. She
No,
still
yeah.
teaches disc golf.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
And I'm telling you, the women's scene is like, it's just cool.
yeah,
It's cool. They can do everything that we can do.
Living the dream right there. Living the dream.
Right?
Yes.
Cooking out of the back.
and
Killing it.
something I always point out to people is like, if distance was everything, then the two best players in the world would be Eagle and Simon.
Right.
They're not the two best players in the
Right.
world.
There's a whole bunch of other stuff
There's
going on.
so much, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
distance isn't everything. It's
That is
just a
very true.
small part of it.
Right.
And really, I mean, if you get like 400 feet of distance, I mean that's pretty much enough.
yeah.
There aren't many holes that if you throw a good, accurate 400 footer, that
Right.
you're not going to be sitting pretty.
Right.
And
You
you're
know.
just playing on wide open fairways.
Yeah. And usually then, like, there's downhill that helps
Right.
you. There's wind that
Something.
usually helps you. You know what I mean? And they're
It's
built
usually
for
accessible
distance.
somehow. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely still don't have
Yeah.
superior distance, but I have a lot of learning. And I know that I can torque on a disc all day long.
Yeah.
I can flip a disc over all day long
Yeah.
and
Right.
hope that it's going to come back. But
Yeah.
I'm learning now to, poke it out. Let it get.
Go lower speed,
Yeah.
understable, and start just throwing a smooth backhand.
Yep,
That's all
flip
you
it
gotta
up.
do. Let it flip, and
For sure.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
because I can throw a 14 speed forehand, but I can't throw it backhand. I gotta
Yeah.
throw a 10 or 12 in there because I'm so short.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll say
that's
that.
me too.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite discs, Brittany?
So, like I was talking about earlier on Appalachian disc golf site, the H3V2, I throw that a lot. That's just been recently in the past 3 months or so that I've really gotten into that disc, and I can really either turn it over and get it to fly or throw it straight. I throw the X3, the Katrina Allen's series from last year. The
750 plastics.
Yeah.
I throw a lot of the FX2s, and I just recently actually switched my putters from a PA1 to a PA3, which is what he throws.
Okay. Felt better in your hand?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Nice.
And wintertime, I feel like that plastic's a little bit better, and I feel like in the long run, with like I'm starting to jump putt a lot better with those and things like that. They just flick a lot easier out of my hand.
Yeah, it's got a lot more glide for her, where she was just throwing a real stable putter at first, kind of. You know, now she's kind of getting more of a push. And
Right.
it's working out for her easier. It's coming
Yeah.
smoother out of her hand,
Yeah.
and she liked it, and it works out because we both throw that disc now. So it's
Yeah.
like now we can just
Yeah.
surplus on the PA3.
Yeah, we're just
So,
out in the yard with
if
big
I
old
find anything,
stacks.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
So
like-
yeah, those are both of the
yeah.
discs. If you scroll down a little bit, there's H3 and
I tell people all the
These are the
time,
Katrina.
that's the best way to get better is find your putter and
Yeah.
like stick to it.
Mhm.
You know, thick or thin. If your putter is the one that feels the best in your hand,
For sure.
you know, and goes in the basket often.
Yeah.
And once you can get it to go in the basket often and be confident about
Mhm.
it, like just keep doing that. You
Right.
know what I mean? And I don't even know how many pigs I have. Like,
Oh yeah, I
my
noticed that
friends
about
buy
you.
me
Yeah,
pigs.
for sure.
You know, I have like 5 or 6 in my bag all the time. Even like when I
Yeah.
carry like a 12, disc bag, I got like 6 pigs in there.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean? But I know how they fly. I mean, like every single one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I heard somebody say the other day, and I don't know, how true it is, but it was just like a little tidbit, some advice, and they were like, the best advice I could give you is it was on like one of the little Prodigy collectors groups or whatever, start out throwing mid-ranges and putters on everything, and then disc up if you have to, and learn how to throw first. Learn like the analytics and the flipping and like the glide and stuff like that. And it made sense to me. I kind of wish I would have had heard that earlier instead of burying into a bunch of understable drivers that I'm just like flipping over, getting ticked off at it, thinking I'm doing it wrong, and now
Yeah.
having those in my basement for 9-10 months, I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I really should have been using that,
Yeah.
a long time ago, but I didn't know that,
Right.
So
Right.
it has a lot to do with learning just how to throw,
Yeah.
what.
I think that's kind of like what he was saying. His back or his forehand, he can throw almost on 13, 14 speed.
Mhm.
Like my backhand, I like to think I can throw a 13 or 14,
Mhm.
so I can probably throw a 13 speed, but
Mhm.
I can't throw 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And I've tried, but,
Right.
but I mean, like, Boss is usually my favorite. I think it's only a 12,
Yeah.
maybe 13.
So like now that I've paid attention, and I like to think I'm not ignorant. The numbers are something that I'm still not familiar with.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because of
Probably a lot
Prodigies.
because of Prodigy, yeah.
So
yeah.
it's something that I am starting to incorporate, so I know exactly what you guys are talking about.
Right.
But it's not something that I was taught, from the beginning. And
That's true.
Prodigy's scale it's so funny, man, because the different molds that they have
Right.
affect so much on how their
They've
discs
changed a
fly.
lot.
Yeah.
Since I threw them, they've changed a lot. Like the X's, I
Yeah.
didn't have those when I was throwing. They just started having the H's when I was throwing.
The D Air Max.
Yeah, so what I was
do
going to
love
say
the D.
earlier.
One of my favorite discs ever was a D3 Air.
Sure.
Oh, I could throw that thing a mile.
So with
I'm
that,
in
it's
the
like,
D1 right now, yeah.
you start messing around with weights and things, when you start really getting to tweaking your game and so you hear these guys that are, throwing 164 grams, then they can't find them anywhere and they're looking for them and this and that. So it's like, we've tried to, I had a little birdie in my ear telling me some stuff, and I was like, okay, we'll try some stuff out. So the air plastic was the most accessible thing to getting lighter. without doing a ton of research and finding some lighter, just regular drivers.
Yeah.
So I bag a D1 Air, and I throw it all the time. It's like 157 grams or something like that. It's super light, but I love it. And it's taught me a lot about how, and now she throws the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And it's cool. You
Yeah.
start messing with the weights, start messing with that, and getting deeper into it. And
I can definitely throw that disc away further than my H3, so it depends, you know what I mean? Like, those are my two go-to
Conditions,
discs, for sure, yeah.
it's all about situational decisions
Yeah.
and
One
everything.
thing I tell people all the time is there's no better practice than taking every single disc you own out into a
Just
field
throwing
and
them.
throwing
Yeah.
them.
Right.
You know,
And that's
Different
something that I
ways,
like, is
different
feel.
angles,
over
yeah.
and over, and then like I like to throw them and then throw them back because it's
Yeah.
going to be a different wind or
Yeah.
whatever. And don't go on a strong windy day, but like make sure there's some wind because there's like usually wind in tournaments. You know,
Right.
they don't pick which day and say like, oh, this is a good non-windy day.
Right.
You know?
We used to go to the park
And that's
all the
another
time.
thing I also learned about, like, so I was in my basement the other day, and you know how you start doing something and you're like, oh my god, I just figured something out.
Yes.
So
Clicks.
I'm
Ding-a-ling.
putting
Oh,
it.
yes.
I'm putting a different way, and I like the way that I putt anyways. But I started putting a different way, and it was like, oh, this is cash. So then I went out the next day to play, and I was draining in the basement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I get out the next day, and we're playing, and I start kind of getting bummed out on myself because it's not working out the way I thought it was going to work out. And then I came to the conclusion later on in that round that it's not the way I putt. It's a I don't have to have a way that I throw. I don't have to have, well, I'm a jump putter, or I'm a straddle putter, or I'm a step putter, or I'm a spin putter all the time.
Yeah.
I'm changing it every time that I get to a different lie. You know what I mean? And that helped me be like, okay, cool. Now I feel like that just helped my putting game because sometimes I want to throw a straddle putt and I'm like, but I should jump. But
Yeah.
I can still straddle, and I mentally block myself down instead of just standing there getting comfortable, which is what this guy's doing in this video. It's just getting comfy.
Right.
These videos are hilarious.
Poor Nico.
Right?
I love the shirt.
Yeah,
I would so wear it.
for sure. And that's another thing is like people think that you have to putt a certain way because that's how
He's fixing the chain.
yeah because that's how pros putt or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, this sport I've never seen such a diverse
Emerson Keith.
set of
Make sense of that.
yeah just
Yeah.
There's
Calvin
nobody
Humber,
else.
just the way he flicks it, like he just
hides it from himself.
That's crazy.
And
It's what you
Yeah.
feel comfortable with, and that's another thing with the sport in general.
completely whatever's comfortable.
It's what you're relaxed and what you feel comfortable with,
That's
and
it.
yeah.
The same in basketball. I watched some of the worst form shooters I've ever seen.
Yeah, man.
From the hip,
Make
They're
it work.
consistent.
way behind their
Yeah.
heads and stuff, and just draining them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter. You can do it however you want. Just do it a whole lot of freaking times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever's
And
working
do it
for
more than everybody else.
Yeah.
That's key.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So how about this couples disc golf game? That's pretty interesting. You guys kind of live your lives dating out on the disc golf course.
I thought you were actually talking about a game
I know.
of couples disc golfing.
We
Oh,
can do that,
we should
too.
make that.
Yeah,
We
right?
should make that happen.
So we
We'll,
get
we'll,
a lot
we'll
of
film it for you.
Yeah,
Right?
I
yeah.
know, right?
so we get a lot of rounds in just together.
Yeah, it's
And
so
that
much
helps.
fun, and that is what
That's
it's
cool.
awesome together because we've both been in sports our whole lives, and we're both very competitive people, and we don't want to just sit around the house all the time,
Yeah, it
and
gives
we're
us something to do.
something to get outside and interact with people. It's so much fun. Yeah,
Are you like competitive towards each other?
yeah. A little. Not
How many
really.
times have you beaten him? We all want to know.
I know.
How many times have you
We
beaten
just
him?
talked about this the other day. I think it's twice. I
Okay.
think it's twice.
I mean, it's never been never, so
Right.
that's awesome.
That's
Hey,
great.
yeah.
Oh,
For real.
Like-
yeah, that pushes
No,
you
dude.
hard, I bet.
She throws comparable.
By the
a lot.
way, you've also beaten me. So
Yes.
uh-huh.
It's happened quite a few times. That,
Everybody has a bad day, and
Yeah.
everybody can.
I don't know that I have to have a bad day for you to beat me.
Yeah.
but-
That's not true.
No,
I don't
absolutely.
believe that at all.
No, she's been
I've
killing
seen you
it.
killing it. I've seen you killing it.
And
You just keep
she's
killing
she's
it.
getting better. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But it's,
there's a number of women, like I know in West Virginia, I wish I was better with names. I'll put them up on the screen, but you know, they definitely. I generally like to not for competitive reasons. I'd love to check like through the whole, you know, all the divisions who I compared with. You know what I mean? And there are a number of women in West Virginia that tear me up.
Yeah.
And I know part of it's because like they're used to hiking and they're younger than me and they're, you know what I mean? They're in better shape, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I know when anyone beats me, it definitely pushes me to, you know,
For
like,
sure.
well, what did I do wrong there, or what can I do better next time?
Yeah.
Usually I like to look at what can I do better.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you look at what you did wrong, you're focused on the way, you know, wrong end of the spectacle, I think.
And it helps, man, when your casual group of friends that you play disc golf with aren't scrubs.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the best.
There's some good dudes around here that can play disc golf.
Yeah.
And that's all I play with too, because that's all he's playing with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as in like, don't come out, don't play because you're not good, blah blah blah. No, what I'm saying is that sometimes you got to go out and you got to get around in because you only got a specific amount of time, or a lot of days I have to be at work. I work a lot of evenings, so it's like I got to be here, I got to get it in, and like if we're dilly-dallying all day long and there's 7 of us, you know what I mean? It's not fun at that point. It gets to the point where we start getting annoyed and, you know, it's like, come on, let's get on with it. But there's days for messing around golf.
Yeah.
Saturday mornings,
Right.
you know what I mean? In the summer, that's awesome times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's like, I'm here to kind of get some shots in, you know? And
get a little better.
Yeah.
It's the field work that you never get to because you're always like buddying up and...
It's true. I don't ever go to a field, man, and I should just do that.
Yeah.
I do a lot. Well, I do it because I'm usually taking somebody new.
Sure.
And I don't like to take them to a course first, you know? Like, I went for Christmas to visit my son. He's 24, never played. And so I took him to a baseball field first because I thought, like, he's played baseball. So he knows, and he played outfield, so I'm like, he knows he can throw from the fence to the first plate, or, you know, home plate. So if he can throw a frisbee that far, he's going to, like, feel impressed.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, yeah, he was crushing it the first day. I was like,
that's awesome.
Okay, well, he can throw like 300 feet, so he's ready. Let's go to a course.
Yeah.
You know? The next day it rained all day, like hard in North Carolina. So I was like, all right, well, that was meant. We needed to go shopping for waterproof shoes.
Right.
So I got him some disc golf shoes for Christmas, and then the next day it was beautiful, cold, really cold, but beautiful. And we went to a course, and from that day on, like I was there for 4 more days, and every day he would be like, he's real quiet, you know. But every day he's like, so we're going to go play disc golf tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Cool.
Like, if you want to, you know.
Yeah, we can
So
eat
then,
breakfast
like,
and be on
the second
in
day,
car.
he said that third day, he was like, so I was thinking we'd go to this one course that I looked up last time. I was like, always looking up courses now. Like, here we go, you know.
Yeah.
And then the 4th day, he was like, okay, so we need to go back to the course that we played the first day because I think I'm actually ready for that course.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love it.
Yeah.
He's such a disc golfer, you know. So he actually played, what's that, Ultimate Frisbee for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
In
which is a
high
dope
school.
Sport, too.
Way different,
it's
but
a great condition.
great
sport.
at throwing, you know, frisbees.
Yeah.
So yeah, he threw one. We measured it at 345.
Nice.
It was a Avenger SS.
Nice.
And he crushed. It was kind of like the perfect form, everything.
Yeah.
Didn't really have any other throws that good, but it was fun to watch. A bunch of 300 footers.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah. I was like, man, but he's in the Army. He's a big boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
he's gonna have to learn how to not muscle it like I did. You know,
Right.
'cause sometimes you muscle it and it goes like, you know, it'll go 300 feet, but it's, you know,
The wrong
too much control
direction.
that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that a couple times. Yeah.
100%.
We didn't
You know how that
lose
goes.
any discs though. North Carolina, there's apparently a lot of like help out there because the courses were beautifully maintained just like. I mean, we didn't lose any discs.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
I think 4 rounds, maybe 5. I think we played 2 one day, so 5 rounds.
Mhm.
Didn't lose a single disc. It was good.
So the only time we've ever even like played away from here, out of like West Virginia,
Yeah.
was when we went to the beach and we played in the sand.
Yeah.
So much
That
fun.
was crazy.
Yeah.
That was like
It's
a
hot.
whole.
That'd be crazy.
That was
It's
like
great.
just get the disc up by the just make it hit by the basket. And
Yeah,
you're there.
you
Just go up there and
right?
get it.
It doesn't skip or
Just go
anything,
up there
right?
and get it, Yeah.
No
That was
roll
way
away.
different.
Yeah.
But that was the only other real like, complete condition change that I've ever been in.
Yeah.
It's just trees here,
Jeez.
which I feel like is awesome. It makes you such
Yeah.
a more on point, clean player.
It does. It forces lines, and when you start learning all these different lines, like you get out into an open field, and it's not, or an open field
Right,
is
you're just
nothing.
piping on discs.
You're like, okay, well, I know how to throw a straight disc
Mhm.
on this S curve. You know what I mean? And get it to that point. That's how I get it 400 feet or whatever.
right.
I think, trees always help.
Yeah.
And I don't, like, for me, I definitely like more tree holes. you
Yeah.
know. I know-
Sasquatch.
Yeah,
No,
Sasquatch is,
Yeah.
That thing, every time I film it, I'm like, man, there is, like, trees like, even to film it, there's trees in the way.
Yeah.
You know?
You're right.
It is, it's the craziest thing.
It's what is it? Step to the left, shoot, and step left.
Yeah.
Get out of the way because
Yeah.
we can't move. The camera get left.
No, right?
It's awesome. I actually just was talking to a guy that I guess you just call it fellow disc golf players from around the country that you just kind of meet on social media and you just start talking to them and he was talking about I'm gonna get a net. I've got it already figured out on my Amazon and everything. He sent me the link of the one that he has.
Yeah.
And I want to put a net in my basement.
Yeah.
And I know this may sound crazy. I'm doing it.
Jim's
you know what I
got
mean?
one.
I got one in my garage.
Yeah.
Just shoot
Yes.
them over, man.
And it's
Yeah.
just for
That's how I started throwing backhand.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just for muscle memory. That's all I want it
That's
for.
it.
I
That's
could
all want.
I could not point at an object and
Yeah.
throw a backhand
Yeah.
straight
and
at
get
it.
to it.
I just couldn't throw straight. I couldn't
Yeah.
pick my target and hit it. And that net helped with that tremendously. If you
sure.
can just throw backhand 50% and hit that target every time,
Mhm.
you'll take 5 strokes off your game.
You will.
So if you have at your house
It's in the
a
garage.
hallway
Yeah.
or any flat surface with about an 8-foot ceiling that's 30 foot long,
Yeah.
down a wall in your basement in your
Yeah.
garage, that's all mine is down the sidewall in my basement. And I'm gonna put the net. Then I feel like I have my whole little training facility down in
Yeah.
my basement, man. And I'm really gonna put it to use,
Awesome.
And it's gonna start working. The backhand's coming around, and I'm
Yeah.
ready for it. I pumped to see
Hey,
it work.
invite me over. I'll come over.
Yeah, dude, for
Yeah,
sure. That'd be
absolutely.
sweet.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah,
I
we'll
just
shoot some
finally-
video footage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got my own little putting guru down there, man. It's like a
Sweet.
nice little.
Yeah. Yeah, I always put mine in the front yard.
Yeah.
Because I always want my neighbors to like see it because they always
Yeah.
come up and ask me, "What is that
Yeah.
thing?" You know.
Ours always
Well,
look
nice
out the
days.
window.
I
They're
always
always.
leave. I always leave putters on top of it, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Hey, you guys, the kids, you can just come and like throw some.
Absolutely.
I don't even
Yeah.
care if they pick them up. I'll go
Right.
pick them up, but yeah,
Just don't take them.
just don't take it.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
just
like
leave 'em
it'll
in
be
the
here
yard.
next
That's another
time.
thing. I've never been a
Yeah.
part of it, like a sport that's just been, like you said earlier, so kind, but like
Yeah.
so good for for nature and good. Like everybody's picking up trash. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's-
I always tell. I said that in a few episodes ago that like when you go to disc golf, always put a grocery bag in your bag. It
Yeah,
literally
just a
can ball
Walmart
it into
bag.
the tiniest little,
Yeah.
shove it in a pocket somewhere, and then tie it onto the outside
Yeah.
and just pick up a piece
Pick
of
up
garbage here
2 or
and there.
3 cans.
That's it.
Somebody left
Yeah.
something.
Someone was rude.
Left something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But I can
Um,
promise you one thing: nobody in our groups have ever.
No.
It's just
No.
crazy because it's like a respect thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you just don't do it.
No.
You just don't do it.
All my friends have like built courses,
Yeah.
and maintain them.
Yeah.
And, oh God forbid if they saw you throw something.
Oh, my goodness.
My God! Like you'd never hear.
I
Yeah.
just wouldn't be able to do
Like,
it.
yeah.
Just like
I
me
just wouldn't be
too.
able
I'm
to do
like
it.
if I saw someone throw something down, like I would never want to fight more.
Right.
I'm not gonna fight you, but I'm gonna let you know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
hardcore, like
Don't
what
do
do
that.
you
What
think
are you
you're doing?
Right.
You get all of this for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what have you
Get-
done for this
right.
course that you
Yeah.
think you deserve?
That's
to just
why
throw
you're
garbage
gonna
on it?
hit a tree.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why.
Deserve it.
Yeah, yeah. I
Tree
hope
love.
you hit
Yeah.
every tree
I
from
hope
here on
your
out.
friend takes your money.
Yep. That's going to be
That
it.
is
Yeah.
funny.
That's how it goes.
Bush light. You son of a.
Yeah.
Through the can.
So true.
Through the can down.
Yeah. So, you guys want to take a break again?
Sure.
Aces. I want to know about aces. I know
Aces.
Britt's got
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, okay.
She does.
I do.
She
I
got
have one. I got my first ace. I don't even. You probably know the date better than I do.
It was in July.
Yeah, it was in July, and
I think
it was at
July
Vets.
14th.
Oh, okay.
And it was the whole going
7.
down and across the road, hole 7.
7. Yeah.
And I
I
flicked
would
the
love to ace that one.
flicked the
Yeah, me
forehand,
too.
and it just hit a little
Crashed.
pocket of
What'd you
wind.
throw? You remember?
FX2. It's purple. I have a
She
Yeah.
gave me the color of it. That's
Oh,
what's
yeah.
Avery.
purple with a silver foil
Oh,
FX2 label on the front of it, and
That's
it
awesome.
just picked up and just crashed right in the center. It was awesome. I pumped. I was so
Yes,
excited.
that's a great one. That is a great one. I wanted to, man, I know I've flown past it a few times. I've wanted that one for a while.
Oh man, yeah, that one's a
I
good
throw
one
a
to get
forehand,
close
too.
to.
I just throw a pig.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so close every time. It's
Well, that's one of
Yes.
those holes that, like, if you're playing like a competitive round, you
Yeah.
really, honestly, aren't
not
trying to ace
go
run
for
it.
an ace. No.
You know, because
No,
Kinda like
I try to throw it at such an angle that like it could
Hit the
ace
bricks.
or could
Yeah.
go right close.
Yeah.
Crash
it's
hard.
just gonna
just fall
spike
in
hard.
here for me. Yeah, either ace
Yeah.
or fall in.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hers. That's her only
That
one.
is my
but
only
that's,
ace.
I mean, you know how long it takes people to get aces. I
That
didn't
was
think.
so
Hey, she got
I've
hers
only
before
had
mine.
2 in 11 years. I have a friend who, like, in
Yeah.
3 years, he had 12 of them.
Yeah.
Wow,
It was
that's
just like, but
Yeah.
let me also explain to you that one time I beat him by 15 strokes in a
Mhm.
tournament because I swear every hole he throws for an ace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes he'll be like 60 feet past,
Sail
like over a hill,
Yeah.
and taking 4 strokes to get back up the hill. And I'm like, yeah, you deserve that.
Yeah, you did that to yourself.
And he's like,
Ace
yeah,
running.
but I got 12 aces. I'm like, oh, jeez, shut up.
That's how some people are.
I know.
Yeah.
I
I mean-
don't know which one I want more, the 12 aces or more wins in
Right.
tournaments. You know,
Right.
I guess if you get
So-
Park jobs. Make
that
the disc
many.
end at the back.
That's what I throw. I throw park jobs. That's
Yeah.
what I don't ace.
Oh, no.
I have 2 aces because I don't throw for aces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Putt through the basket.
yeah.
Drive at.
That's
to
what
the
he
basket.
does. He drives through the bat. That's what he
Yeah,
said.
you don't
He was
wanna
like,
do
I'm
that.
trying to go straight through it. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but that sounds really bad if you can't putt.
Yeah.
And he can't putt, so.
Yeah, he's
Ah,
throwing it
funny.
away on himself.
yeah.
That's the only ace she's got, which
It is.
blows my mind. She
Yeah.
got it a month before me, and then I got mine in August, and we went to the beach like 3 days later. So I won the ace pot for
Oh
league.
my gosh,
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
nice. How much did you win for ace?
it was like 269, I think.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
my
sick. It was the
Right
very,
before
it was the
vacation.
last week
Yeah.
of league.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick. It was
That is
perfect
sweet.
timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Dick and all of them were giving me a hard time to say that she was hiding in the bushes because she was at work.
Yeah.
She hid in the bushes and I threw a blind ace. She
Oh,
jumped out of the woods and
Threw
threw
it
it in the
in.
basket.
Ah.
It's hilarious.
That is
no,
funny.
you would have been way too fast for that. 'Cause
Yeah.
Right.
I saw it like hit that corner, and the next thing I heard was chains. Like,
Yeah. Insane. I just
No.
looked and was like,
yeah,
well, I'll be excited
Alright.
because I had so many splash outs. It was like, before that, I was like, I'm not even excited about it. I
yeah,
want to wait and make sure it's in there.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
went around and it was in there, but then I still didn't
Right.
have that. I still didn't have that check mark
Because
in
you
my
didn't get
heart.
to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
second one
Yeah.
was a pure flick. And I watched it. It was actually an island hole. It was
Yeah.
a real short basket.
Yeah,
Hooked it out perfect, and literally it just cracked. I mean,
yeah,
everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And it was
It
with like
was.
a group of like 12 people.
yeah.
So it was awesome. You know what I mean? It
Right.
was
It
so
was super
cool.
fun.
But it was just a little
Yeah.
practice round. You know, it's a
Yeah.
fun time.
I have like, well, I have 2 official ones, and then Jim was with me one time when we
Unofficial.
unofficial.
Yeah.
We just
set
made
up a
that hole
hole.
up.
We just like, okay, here's a tee box, there's a basket, you know. It was a
Crashed
good
it.
200 footer at least,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just a beautiful throw. But the first one I ever made was like the only one that I feel out of the 2 real ones and the unofficial one that like I threw an exact line. It went on the exact line I threw and went dead the back. And like the whole flight, I was just like, I really did
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah. It's
The
awesome.
second one was kind of like, I was really trying to, throw a layup like I always do.
Yeah.
And it somehow stayed in the air because the wind held it. And just, ching, right in the basket. I was like, oh, okay.
There's
that's
no
two.
better feeling of like standing there on the box and you're like,
Yeah.
Come on.
oh my god, that's going in.
Yeah.
That's going in.
And
Come
it's
on.
usually from
And then-
out of your hand.
And
That's the best
usually,
part. Yeah.
usually it doesn't happen realistically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't go in. But you're like, oh, how did that miss? But
Yeah.
it's the best feeling in the world watching it, and then like,
Yeah.
or even watching your buddy shoot an ace. It's
Oh,
like just as
yeah.
it's just as good of a feeling. It's crazy.
There,
It's awesome.
there was a period of time when I was starting to feel like Jeremy Colling
Yeah,
because like all my buddies hit aces, including you.
yeah.
And then
While
like,
you were
I watched Travis Dick hit 2
Yeah.
of them in 1 year.
Yeah.
Then like the next year it was you, and like this year I've seen 3 of them.
Yeah,
And I'm just kind of like, okay, well when's mine? You know what I mean? Like, so, someone just let mine go in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can somebody come and watch mine? Please?
Yeah, yeah, like someone else beat Jeremy Coley for me.
That is
But
funny.
yeah, I would, watching the flight of a disc has always been, since the first time I ever threw
Yeah.
one, was my favorite part of it.
It's
And,
so awesome.
It is. Playing every other sport, like a shot in basketball,
Yeah.
it goes up and down.
Yep.
Shot in golf, up and down.
Yep.
Unless you're really bad, then it goes up
Up
and
and
right,
right.
or right and
Yeah.
left, or whatever. But
Swizzle, baby. Swizzle.
nothing,
Swizzles.
nothing swizzles. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Nothing can do like a
S-turn
yeah,
helicopter.
multiple turns
Really
in the
controlling
air.
there.
Yeah, a
You're
And
control.
controlling
slow
something.
down at the end,
Yeah.
and just come to rest
Yeah,
in the
It's-
basket.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Well, I don't know what the actual word. It's enjoyable, but it's pleasurable. Just the sport is so awesome to watch.
yeah.
And then I don't know. We don't even have to go
And
into
frus-
detail
and
about
frustrating.
it.
I
yeah.
think sometimes the best part too is like when it's frustrating, you can either learn lessons or
Yeah.
you can just suffer through.
Yeah. Yep.
And when I was young in disc golf, when I was young in it, I suffered through,
Mhm.
and then you suffer through and suffer through, and I was just like, I love this sport, but
Yeah.
I don't want to keep suffering through it.
This is-
Like there's got to be.
Something's gotta
I see other
give.
people. I see
Right.
other people doing it differently. Like let me just
Why
watch
does his
that.
disco in and mine won't?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And then the other part I would notice, like, well, his is going in because as he's walking down the fairway, he's not, complaining about like
Right.
his last shot. He's thinking about this putt that he needs to
Yeah.
make, and I'm over here. Man, I can't even believe I just
He's
hit that
cleansing
stupid
his
tree.
soul is what he's doing.
Yeah,
He's letting
cleansing
that
the soul.
just let
Yeah.
go.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
And he's,
That's hard to do, but
Yep.
once you figure it out,
And then you touch the
Yeah.
flow after that.
it's on.
Right.
I haven't figured it out yet, so
No.
not one to speak.
No.
Two in 2 days
Yeah.
this summer. I had a miraculous 2 days.
Oh yes,
Oh, you
2
had
in 2
2
days.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit one on the
I remember
Sasquatch,
that.
and then the very next day we did glow round in
Yeah.
Athens, and I hit one off the front porch.
Oh, that's right.
But I hadn't had one in 2 years.
And
And
you have to talk to
everyone
Jared about your
I had
birdhouse.
before that was just total luck. Hit off trees, it bounced in.
Oh my gosh, how crazy.
That's awesome.
I think since I had really gotten serious about disc golf, it was the same thing. I hadn't been shooting for the basket. I've been trying to lay up or place shots, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
the
wonderful.
one you hit in Athens is the one to hit.
Got a birdhouse
Well,
out
I
of
was
that
gonna
one.
say, make sure you stay on him about your birdhouse.
Yeah.
Because we brought it up recently and he had forgotten about it.
Oh, you got to get the birdhouse.
Yeah.
I
Got to.
may have one day. Ah, that'd be great.
Right.
I've been so close, so many times.
Let's take a break.
Let's do it.
All right.
Break time. Ready? No, I'm just kidding.
All right, Jim, your turn for questioning.
My turn for I asked all my questions.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Okay.
Aces, I covered that. Couples golf though, really, like you guys play with like Tony and Adam and other couples like that. That's got to be
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
It is so much fun. It is like,
It's like free vacations, right? You get to
Yeah.
hang out with cool people and
Basically.
yeah. And like,
That's how it
that's
feels.
kind of what we're doing is what we're kind of doing this summer is going on his little tour, kind of like a
Yeah.
little couple weekends and a couple far tournaments here and there and trying to put them together. So
Yeah. I mean, he's talking more or less just like playing with just
Well,
couples.
I know in general, but like going out and playing it overall.
Just trying to meet new people.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
But playing with that helps. It's easier to go play with a group of people with that. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
when you, one thing I've found out, a big thing is like, don't make too much of a hustle out of anything. I mean, like a big bustle out of it, not a hustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't over plan stuff. Just go play. You don't have to. If it doesn't work out and you don't get to play with your buddy today, then just go on with it.
Yeah.
Go play still. Go do your thing, and you'll get to play some other time. But like getting too far into trying to plan everybody to get there at the same time, and then if dude can't be there, then let's try and make it work, and then it doesn't end up working for anybody, or dude doesn't show up. You know, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Here's something I explain to people about disc golf. That disc golf time is a good hour to 2 hours behind normal time.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're meeting up at noon.
Yeah.
Don't plan on anyone being there until at least 1 or 2.
Right.
And you know, and like you have to like roll with it.
Yeah.
Or be miserable, like I said. You know, you can.
And then
be
just don't
angry.
ever play.
And that's where it's like little life lessons, you know? It's where you learn patience and key.
So last year, I don't really do the whole New Year's resolution thing. I just try to always improve all the time.
We were just talking about that the other day.
So, but like last year, one of my main goals was to learn how to be late.
Okay.
I was one of those guys that like, if I'm there 15 minutes early, I'm at least 5 minutes late. Because 20 minutes early is really when I should, you know?
Right.
And I, like, because I had some of the worst bosses, you know, that like, if you're not here on time, I'm going to, you know, fire you immediately. And then like I had a couple bosses that like, if you were late all day for like a week, you know, they just ride you about like, you're going to be late again next time, you know? And you just get kind of ridden down by it, you know? So I just learned how to be like early to every single thing until disc golf, and it was like, this is miserable. Like I'm 20 minutes early, right?
And then they're like,
they're an hour to 2 hours late, and I'm like, oh, this really is horrible. Like I've been putting for like, you know, looking at my watch like,
you're tired.
I'm pretty sure, I'm like ready to go home. I should have played around by myself.
I've already
you know?
done all this.
And but I learned, you know, like 2 years ago, I finally learned, just calm down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't show up on time. No, you already know no one else is going to. Right. So if they do show up on time, they just get a little more practice than you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I can be okay with that. You know what I mean? Big deal, right?
It's a pretty easy sport to get along with everybody.
It is.
No doubt.
It is. You know, I've played with a lot of people. I've seen a few come and go, and the ones that tend to go are the ones that they just aren't that social.
Yeah.
You know, they like to cause problems. They like to see drama. Everybody else, we've been around for years.
Yeah.
You know, I tend to fit in the circle, and if I fit in, I'm pretty sure most people can.
Right. Well.
You know, and you know, I have opinions. You know, I've always had an opinion. That's part of why I started a podcast.
Right.
You know, and but I also like to listen to other people's opinion. You know, and love hearing other people's opinion because I don't think that mine's always right.
Right.
I'm wrong all the time.
Right.
You know, half the time, as everyone's seen in my podcast, you know, a few episodes, I forget names all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I might say another name. Well, so and so did blah 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 blah. I don't actually know. You know what I mean? I think that's who did it. You know.
No autocorrect over here.
Yeah. But so you know, I'm gonna be wrong all the time.
Yeah.
You know, if people want to judge me because I'm wrong, then that's fine. But disc golfers don't seem to.
No.
You know, mainly because I'm okay with admitting that I'm wrong.
All walks of life.
Yeah, and most of us that I've met, you know, that all stick around and do keep coming back. We just, you know, we enjoy each other's company. I know I super enjoy you guys' company. Your energy is you know, it makes me want to keep coming back.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, one, to watch you guys improve. You know, I love watching people that have done it less than me, and they always improve faster than I do. I don't even mind helping them. you know, to get better faster. And
I like just watching everybody. I just watching a disc fly, man.
Yeah. That's me too.
It's so cool watching everybody throw different, you know, methods, ways.
We're all like little kids in the wood. We're all
Yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah.
When they
don't
flip
get
over.
it. And I'm like, okay, if you're not willing to try it, then just the next 5 years, it'll be on your national TV channels. It's coming. You know what I mean? It's about to happen. And there's when it's an attraction, you don't have to do anything else for it. It's already done itself. You know what I mean? So it's going to happen. It's growing so fast, and just in the time that we started playing, just what I watched personally of its growth was ridiculous.
Yeah,
it
has grown a lot in the last 4 years.
And it starts with cameras and stuff, man. All these guys filming their tournaments, you know, out in Minnesota and
everywhere.
Everywhere. But that's what's letting it be seen.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even know how many podcasts for disc golf I'm subscribed to, but there's at least 8.
Yeah, I was never really good with the whole like subscribing to anything on YouTube. I was more like just type what I want to see and then you know watch related videos. But since I've gotten into like I can subscribe to just what I want to pop up here. Yeah, I'm probably like 15 channels probably. It's not a huge number, but
there's not a ton.
No.
You know what I mean? But
that's enough to fill every waking moment in your.
It basically is. Yeah, and it's so funny because now like you get on Facebook, and I don't know about your guys's, but it's all like discs, and then like every third post is like, you know, somebody's having a baby or getting married or they're on vacation or something like that. But everything else is frisbees. Yeah,
Yes.
I see that circle on my phone more than anything.
I'm beating up my PayPal, man.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. You are not lying about that.
So hilarious.
That is funny because that's how it works, man. And
got 2 Gateway warships or war spears for $16 shipped yesterday.
Nice.
Crazy.
Killing deals, looking for bargains, you know, just
shout out to
trying
all
to help,
our nudists.
trying to help, you know, just other players out, man. It's cool that like you can buy a disc that you already know. It's like buying a car with a sticker on it. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy this car that I already know it's what I want, but now it's got my buddy's number on it, and he's getting a little contribution off of it. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff.
I do know.
I like that
I have
a lot.
A bunch of Corey Ellis's.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Corey.
Heck yeah, dude. That's he's awesome.
Shout out to Corey.
Shout out to Corey Ellis.
He's a great guy.
We just went down and played. He hosted us for a casual 3. There was only us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because we were going to meet another guy there, and he had something come up, so it was just his girlfriend was with us in the first round, so we got to have a little couples golf round, and then she had to go to work. We went and had some lunch, went and played again, and then we just happened to be there on the day that they did their weekly little glow buy-in night. So
shout out to Molly for throwing her best round that day too.
Yeah, she did. She said
threw
she
a
threw her
great
best
round.
round
It was
that day at that park.
awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
We took their money. It's me and some young boy. I don't remember what his name was. It's on my U-disc somewhere, but he was just a local from there, and super young dude. And
power on the.
we literally
right there.
we won. We played glow, and we bought in $5 a head. We weren't even going to play. She didn't end up playing. She was like, I'm done. My arm's toast. We already played 2 rounds anyways. I ended up staying around and playing, man, and it was super fun. It was my first ever glow round, like full glow round. And, we won. It was cool.
It was
so
super
paid for
cool.
our dinner. It was nice.
Heck yeah.
It was cool. And then Corey, we threw under 13, but Corey threw under 10 by himself.
Wow.
So game glow.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I keep trying to get him to come play the Sasquatch.
Oh, he'll come
soon.
He'll come.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in town to film a In the Bag, so
cool.
I'll try to talk him into maybe throwing there too. Yeah.
Awesome. Nice. That'll be sweet.
Yeah.
Got some good Sasquatch action.
Woo-hoo.
It's coming soon. Everything's going to be on the up and up.
Well, how about we talk about some warmer weather.
Yes.
How about
Oh
this
my
summer?
gosh.
So I know you guys have some plans for this summer. I know
Oh yeah.
being sponsored kind of means you kind of have to play a bunch of tournaments.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like that's a problem.
No.
Right.
So
You know
much
what I mean?
fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So what do you got going on?
so Julian is, like we were kind of talking earlier. I know that he's not new to doing this, but it's a new. I feel like he's
New vibes.
trying new people. He's trying new things. So with that being said, it's a newborn baby at this point. You know what I mean? It's not really got much walk to it yet. We're trying it. It's fun. It's going to be awesome. Either way, Appalachian Disc Golf. We're coming to play tournaments. I'm going. I'm already signed up for Bowling Green, which I know in the past has been a big tournament. I've done like a lot of research on just trying to see what stuff I should get into. I've talked to a lot of other guys that, you know, they throw me some pointers. Actually, Julian's going to play in that this year. Also, he's registered up, so we're going to link up down there, hang out, go throw. Do our thing, have fun. That's kind of our first vacation of the spring.
Nice.
And before that, the only other tournament that I had scheduled it's still cold, you know what I mean? Clear up until at least about April, honestly. Is going to be one of Van Man's tournaments, the Ice Bowl, Huntington Ice Bowl.
Nice.
I'm on the #1 slot for the wait list for, I think, intermediate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he has a waiting list for an ice bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
That speaks.
It's awesome,
does.
isn't it?
It does. So I went on there and
he deserves that.
Yeah.
I missed it, obviously. No big deal. I'm on it, so if somebody flakes out,
drop out.
I'm hoping, but it's on a Saturday, and I don't know. We'll see. If it happens, it happens. But that's going to be the first one. And I haven't called off work for that yet because I don't know what's going to happen. So we don't even know what's going to go on with us in that. I may go by myself. I may, who knows. That'll be tournament #1.
Nice.
Then tournament so I have the first 3 I have planned out so far. Then Bowling Green in April, which that seems far out, but I can't get anything really in between just yet. And then I just recently got signed up. I also missed the registration for the Lexington the BCB Open. Take 2 or something like that. The BCB Open Take 2, I believe. It's in Wellsburg, West Virginia. I signed up for that, but I missed it for my division. So I had to register in advance.
Okay.
So this is
that's a good experience.
So the way that I feel like it's a test for me, and I'm not putting too much stress on myself because I'm just going to throw it either way.
I just want to go caddy for him. I'm excited.
What is it?
I wouldn't put any stress on yourself.
No, I'm ready. I'm
playing out of your
it.
league. I would go and just be like, I'm here to learn.
But I thought it was cool.
If you go with that attitude, you'll be amazed
for sure.
how well you throw.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it was cool because I had to, I was in the intermediate, and then I got in Bowling Green intermediate, and then I kind of had to. So we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of nervous about it, but it's going to be cool.
It will be cool.
And I think that she's probably going to play in that tournament also. The only bad thing is that they're back-to-back. Is Bowling Green, and then that tournament is back-to-back weekends. It's not a super big deal, but I think that's going to be probably... She's going to come with me to Bowling Green and just kind of caddy or hang out and just experience. I feel like it's probably going to be the biggest tournament. I know it'll be the biggest tournament I've ever been to.
It's a big one,
Yeah, and that may not even speak numbers to anybody else, but for me, I don't know what to expect.
That'd be a great one.
So, I'm pretty excited about that. And as far as anything past that, I'm going to Myrtle Beach Open at the end of the year for sure. These are just because they're in places that I'm going on vacation to. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to go play. I'm not playing an Open, obviously. You know what I mean? Right. So I can plan a vacation around that, and it's down there. I'm also trying to play in Tennessee States.
Nice.
I
was born in Nashville.
Okay, cool.
Tennessee.
Cool. So those are plans. I mean, all you gotta do is register, dude.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody said anything other than anything else.
Yeah.
pay for a PDGA membership and register and show up and play.
Yeah.
And if you throw a good that day and you freaking win, you won.
And it costs the same as playing a round of golf.
Right.
Well, here's what I tell people.
But you're sponsored now, so
if you throw better than 40 or than 60% of the field, like if you're in the top 40%, you go home with more than you came with.
Right.
So, like, you can't like you can lose.
Yeah.
But usually because you're in your head.
Right.
Anytime I'm out of my head, like, I'm winning top 40.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Every time.
or playing out of your level. You know, it's don't be don't be too prideful to play in the intermediate division.
I will say
Masters.
that, like, when I went from, I played in, same as, I was actually intermediate, played in advanced round. Like, all my rounds that when I went back to intermediate were way better, and I was able to win intermediate after that. But I didn't win intermediate until after I played lost the advanced round.
Right.
And I actually did pretty well. I mean, my rating was great compared to what I had been shooting.
Right.
It didn't compare to the advanced players, but it definitely made me shoot my personal best.
Right.
So
that's what I'm doing.
I love playing. I don't like telling people to play up all the time.
Right.
But every once in a while, absolutely.
Right.
It'll just make you better.
And that's what the hope is.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm setting an expectation on like, oh, well, I just play this season and then, next year I'm getting an open membership, pro member.
Yeah.
That's, like,
no need for any of that.
There's no plan.
Yeah.
I am so pumped about playing in tournament. Dude.
Yeah.
My football coach used to tell us, literally dream about picking a dude off.
Yeah.
Literally dream about picking a fumble up, scoop a score. Like, literally just think about it.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just funny. I'm not trying to get cliche, but, like, you think about, like, summertime, dude.
Yeah.
Letting go of the disc, and it's just like the green, the grass
fly.
is green, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's so nice. And it's just different, dude,
Yeah.
And I'm ready to get back with it. We got to catch the tail end of last season with a couple tournaments, which they played into October, and it was like you had to have masks on. You crazy, right? Well, it's not crazy, but I'm saying, like, it just is so different.
Right.
And then, like, this year is going to be the same, but we're ready. I'm more ready.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% ready because I've never done it. You can't. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've literally thought and talked about, like, just getting a van.
Yeah.
And
that's a great idea.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm serious. We're thinking about
Disc golf tour,
selling a vehicle and buying a van.
Yeah.
I have a, you guys know my little purple PT Cruiser.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
Party
thinking
time.
maybe trade, doing, nothing major, nothing set in stone, no expectations, man. I want to just roll with everything. And that's why she's kind of doing, I want her to see. Because I'm only seen on TV, and I want her to see, and then once we figure it out, man, then I'm so cool with her strapping up and doing her thing too, and it's going to get crazy because it's going to be fun. So it's already crazy on paper.
Doesn't it make life exciting?
It does, man.
Yeah.
I've already got the hotel reservations and everything. You know what I mean? Like, everything is set in stone. So the one tournament, the BCB, has got free camping on their
That is so nice.
Yeah, we're so into
at the
camping
course,
too.
man. I've never seen this course, but all the reviews I've read it's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. It's beautiful. So we're excited about that. I'm not planning out too much yet, but the next thing on my itinerary is to look into June and July, those months, and figure it out, because I've already looked at all the registration openings and things like that, and I'm on it, man. I'm trying to really, like, get out and just, kind of like, just put on, you know what I mean? Just do it. Yeah. And I always stay repping West Virginia, like, literally, dude.
Yeah.
Always. It's always like, we're from West Virginia, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's nothing against Ohio. Like, we're from Ohio.
No.
I'm from right on the border, you know what I mean? Right, we're from Parkersburg.
Well, I'm not even from Ohio. I'm from all over the place.
But I'm just saying, it's not like, it's just, that's my heart, man.
Yeah.
Nobody up here's, it's not nobody's doing it. It's just the fact of everybody elsewhere from here is doing it big, like with the cameras and doing it and getting out to all these big tournaments and everything. And it's just like, oh, where's West Virginia Corey? Shout out to Corey. He's like, I love, and it pumps me up. And you can ask him personally. I message him all the time and tell him, do your thing today. He's always like, thanks, bro. Yeah. I follow him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that to me is just it's awesome, man. And I'm ready to just continue to try.
I agree.
Living out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Still making it happen.
Yep. Throwing discs in the woods.
Yeah, for sure.
Good time.
Yeah, I'll tell you, like, if you throw enough discs in the woods, you get out in those open spaces, you'll be amazed at how far you can throw.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Wow.
You start realizing, like, okay, well, I've been throwing these precise shots, and now, like, I get in the open, and they're not hitting things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go a lot further and easier to watch fly.
Yeah.
You know, also easier to film.
For sure.
I'll tell you, some, like, the thicker wooded courses they make it challenging, you know, because, like I'll walk to a spot where I'm like, okay, this should be the perfect spot to catch this shot, and then you're like, oh, there's 60 trees in my way, and like, you know, if I try to like follow it, there's gonna be like one right, you know, to my left that's gonna block half the shot, and yeah, there's a lot of trees around here.
Yeah, sure.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
When I went to North Carolina, I noticed that like their woods are a lot thinner.
Oh yeah.
There's just like way less trees,
you
know. And there are specific lines that they've kind of created, but it's not near. Like if you go off of those lines, you're like, oh, well, I still have actually a shot to the basket from here, you know. Whereas here, you're throwing 90 degrees to the fairway just to get your next one down the fairway, you know.
Detrimental.
And if you throw anywhere outside of that, good luck, because you're going to get poked.
Scramble game. Scramble game. It's got to be on.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I feel like we talked about.
Yeah,
great
we still
stuff.
just literally. I mean, it doesn't have to be a shout out. It's just all my friends, man. Everybody that just plays, like, it's fun. The reason we're here, we played. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
You guys playing with everybody. Julian, Jared, Dan, Dallas, all these cats from just all these different areas.
It is so much fun.
Boozer, Josh, all of them, dude. I can't even say it. That's literally like. You're reading off a little list of people, man. It's
I'm actually glad to hear Boozer still playing. I haven't seen Boozer in forever.
Yeah.
Good.
Boozer just made me reinvent my love for darts the other day. I'm back on the dart game too. Nice. Darts are
I actually
serious.
put his first hole in his wall.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
He was not mad, so it was okay.
He told her to do it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It was hilarious.
No, yeah, man.
Awesome.
Literally, if it wasn't for just straight good friendly competition all the time, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't show up and play with people. I wouldn't hang out with them. I play with the same people all the time, man. Yeah. And like, we're always trying to get new people to come out and play.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Also, I do have to say, disc golf is what you put into it. Like, it doesn't have to be as serious as everybody takes it either.
No.
Like you can just go out
scary.
and have a good time and have fun and take 16 shots and you know what I mean, just stay in the fairway and have fun and go out and have a good time. Like, you don't have to shoot every hole if you're not comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, just come out.
There's
and
no
race.
incentive. Like, well, there is sometimes, but you wouldn't be in a situation for an incentive if you were so unsure about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I take people out all the time, new people, and like, if we get to a water hole, I'm like,
if you don't want to, don't. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna find a spot where you're comfortable throwing. You know what I mean? And we're gonna call that your tee box.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely.
Who cares?
It is so much fun. And that's what everybody says is like, oh, well, you know, like if you throw that far, you know, I'm like, listen, it is what you put into it. Get 2 discs, get 1 disc. It doesn't matter, you know. Go out and have some fun and go from there. Just go from there.
Yeah, just keep playing.
A great way to look at it.
I mean, and this stuff, man, doing this is what's going to do. You know what I mean? This is what's going to get it done. You got to. We live in a society that it didn't happen if you don't visually see it, like literally, and it ain't going down up here if you don't visually get to see it, and that's what people are doing, and that's what you're trying to do, and I'm on board with you, man. It's cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's and the tournaments
I definitely
and everything
appreciate you guys watching and subscribing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, balance achieved, right?
Yeah.
It's a channel.
That's right.
Heck yeah, dude.
That's part of what disc golf has taught to me, is balance. I try to teach that to so many of my patients and people that I've just, been part of their lives or whatever, that, you can head towards these ideas that we have, but you have to stay grounded a little bit, and then, the other part of balance is like, you don't know love without hate.
Right.
You don't know good
You
without
have
bad.
everything
You have to see it all to know which is, really, the right thing. And so that's a lot of what the Disc Golf Collective is about. We're, about working, because working in disc golf is the balance of like fun and work. You know what I mean? And we work so we can have all that fun. And it doesn't really take, when there's enough people, it's not that much work really. And
just pick up one stick.
Just get sticks.
Yeah.
Trash.
I always that's something I pointed out. That I'd like to point out. Like talking about picking up sticks. Like the other day, I was playing around, and like when a stick is in my way, I can pick it up and just toss it, or I can pick it up and toss it to a place where.
Oh my gosh!
Is that a bat?
Yeah, sure.
What the hell? How does a bat do? We might
There it
be okay
comes.
because it's like with this roof over. You guys just stay there.
Oh,
geez, okay.
you let it in!
Jim's in the worst place.
Jim, you let it in!
Yo.
Oh God! Door is open.
Hey, listen.
Oh my god!
Oh, door is open. Hold on. Here, guys, run in here if you want.
I'm blasting his ass if he gets near me.
You should probably go out that door. Here, come here.
Oh, we forgot about that thing.
Did you open the door?
Yeah, I propped it open.
All right.
This go.
That's all on camera. That's amazing.
I feel like he's back here. I'm not. Look, I'm kind of like hoping that he comes right here because I'm smashing him. I'm telling you, I'm hitting him. I feel like he's behind me, bro. That's the last place I seen him. He ducked that way. I'm kind of just waiting.
How did a bat get in here?
Oh, dude. Hey, low key.
I've had it in my house at least 10 times in my life.
I wasn't trying to like. I wasn't trying to make a big deal out of it.
If you find out at me, you're gonna hear a scream like a girl.
Yo, I wasn't trying to make a big deal at first, but then I was like, oh,
and it might be on camera.
big boy too.
This is great.
That
You're
was
gonna hear
shot,
how calm I was. I was like,
Yikes. I'm still
I'm
not
happy to,
calm.
like-
I looked behind. I didn't see him down.
I don't want to hit him. I feel so bad.
No, I don't.
You don't think
I was
he
just
did?
like thinking about something I could hit it with. There's nothing over here. I grabbed this disc.
Hopefully you didn't go behind then.
Damn, he was
See,
flying.
I got my neck guard up.
I know, I saw his eyes go up and I was like, what is he looking at?
Yeah, dude, I wasn't trying to like
Oh, man.
make a
So
major
the door just
distraction. Dude.
I feel like the wits
Oh my gosh.
I really don't feel like I'm too scared of the bat individually. I just don't want him
Jumping
Like
out
to
of
smack-
grab you
yeah.
or bite you or anything?
Yeah, that last time that I was sitting here and he come right across the top of my head.
Yeah, dude.
I was like way back in the
Is he
chair.
gonna grab you? Yeah, like is he gonna
Right.
try something?
So here's my question.
What?
Do you think he went out the door?
I think he did.
Dude, I didn't see him cross back.
I thought
though.
he went this way last time I saw
I
him.
think that was the last time I saw it too.
All those doors were closed.
Yeah.
Right?
You
The
were-
bathroom was
I had already
closed.
Yeah,
closed
that was
that
closed.
one. That one was been closed.
How about the flying disc that nobody knows where it went?
Could have gone under the door.
Back.
I know, open that, yeah, because it could. Oh, it could have went under the door.
Or in the blinds.
All right.
That was
This
pretty
might
cool.
be okay.
Listen.
You're squeaky.
I thought I just did.
Oh, I have to include at least something of this.
Hey, bro.
I can't wait to hear me scream.
I felt like I kept mine, honestly,
I think
for
I
a
just
minute.
this thing early.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Boy, I didn't even know what to do.
Woo!
I didn't even know what to
Stay low, man. Stay low.
I just went like this.
I must have a long battery. That's all.
I stopped the way over here,
I
dude.
felt like it probably won't fly down.
It just kept, coming
Yeah.
by here, but I was like, nope.
Woo! It did on this side.
And
It
I
come
felt
alive.
so naked. I felt so
Yeah, he was in
vulnerable.
the worst place.
Yeah.
It's
Touch
like
my- touch the
flying
top
right
of
past
Yeah.
him.
Grabbing some hair off my head when he went past.
Oh, God, hell no.
I'm gonna have
Oh,
nightmares
my.
about that.
Whew.
Everybody was so calm, though.
Well, yeah, we exited like G's, I feel
Great
like.
job, guys. That was.
Exit the studio!
I didn't exit anywhere. I was looking for something to put in my hand, and I was like, oh,
He's
shit.
gonna whack it with the frisbee.
If he came back down, he swooped us the last time he got a little low, and I
He
thought I could
was
actually
like,
like reach him.
I was like, but you don't want them down in here.
Well, I
at
just
all.
wanted my hands kind of like. Okay, cool.
Well, apparently there's been a bat in the studio.
Is this your secret lair?
I know, right?
It just happened.
Oh, that was interesting.
That was.
When I saw your eyes the first
Boy, he was a big body.
I was like, what is he looking at?
Yeah.
And I like saw it fly. I was like, oh, wait
Hey,
a minute.
that wasn't a tiny bat.
No, he was
No,
big.
that was a big body
Yeah.
bat.
I thought it was a bird.
Yeah.
I was like, that thing's huge.
I was
Feels like
like,
a vampire.
Yeah, I didn't know really how to make that known. I was just like, I think she
Weird.
went, is that a bat?
I was like,
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, let me get a drink.
you have to play that back and send it to us.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's got, some of it's got the eyes you guys made. You gotta put it
People
on
are going to
video.
think I'm fun.
Dude, I
I'm over
hear
here
it.
like this.
Something tells. I bet the camera didn't catch the bat at all. Well, when it flew past Jim, I bet that back
And
one
my
got
hope.
it.
Oh, God, I just saw a hair
I think
flying
the-
in the air. And I was
I
like,
think the back one would have got it
hey,
when it swooped
if it,
over.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that will be
What if it
the
came
evidence that we
underneath?
need. That will be perfect. Yeah, it might even swoop this underneath it here.
Yeah, it might-
Dude.
oh, right.
Yeah,
Oh, that'll be great.
yeah. We need evidence.
Oh, we do.
It'll be
Cool.
You'll see its shadow on top of John.
Oh, I'm laying down. All you can see was my face in the camera. I'm like, I wasn't getting up until you guys had this the perimeter search.
Oh my.
And I need a weapon.
Yeah,
We've knocked on every surface, looked for the bat everywhere.
yeah. It's not here.
Hopefully it's gone.
It's either gone or
No.
confused somewhere else.
He's probably cold out there.
That's probably what it was, man. He just wanted to see what was going on. It's not usually
No.
business going on in here.
Right.
Like, this is my spot this time
Right.
of night.
Yeah.
This time of night, yeah. Dark and cold. Jeez whiz, man. That's
Well,
fun.
I say we wrap this thing up.
Cool,
Yeah,
man.
sounds
And,
good.
It's been awesome.
I would definitely appreciate you guys,
Yeah.
definitely going out of your way to come up here, visit us, be on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
It's been a great conversation.
Thanks for having
Sorry
us.
about the bat.
That's cool.
I know.
It's life.
Yeah, it's something we can always remember and talk about
Spontaneous,
for sure.
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
just-
great
This
memories.
studio is now
Nature.
called Bat Cave.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Right.
bat lair.
Yes.
That's hilarious,
Oh, I
man.
love it.
Bring it.
Awesome.
It's
That's
just
good.
bringing nature to us.
It is. It is. Yeah. Those who love nature, I guess it just comes to you.
Yeah.
right? All right. Well, I'm sure we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
you both.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love
you
you.
Good
too.
luck
Fun
this
gift
season.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
man.
You as
Well,
well.
everybody,
Yeah.
to everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody. There's going to be tournaments here that we're all going to be playing in together.
Yeah.
You're going to be hosting tournaments.
I'm hoping to film them and host
We're gonna
them.
be
Yeah.
watching
There's
all
going to be some
kinds.
up our
Yeah.
way. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Good deal. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
That was
Awesome.
cool. For even
We'll have you
asking us.
back for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get
Awesome.
to talk about what we talked about
Yeah.
in
Absolutely.
past tense.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sweet. That'll be cool.
Absolutely.
All right,
And
thanks,
bat
man.
and bats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and bats.
All right. Talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, later. Sick. The exit.
Sweet.
Yeah. That was fun, man.
That was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I'd like to come back after we just like we talked about doing all